Anyway, while he gets his food, welcome back to another week of Dungeons and Dragons. Things look different now! You can't see it, but I'm waving my arms around me excitedly like Kermit the Frog.
For what?
All the
I believe it.
Yay!
I can totally picture it.
Look at this freaking layout. I did some work last week, and I made this layout so that it would be a little bit more, it just looks cleaner. Basically, all I did was create a thing that covered up all of the, like, parts of the Excel window that I didn't need you guys looking at, and redid it with, like, information about the game. So, except for the, initiative window there, everything else was already blocked off on the window. It was just Excel's, unhelpful information that wasn't helpful to you, like what page we were on, and, like, all the colors that I could turn things. I just covered it up with words that say Dungeons and Dragons, so everything looks cool now. You guys have been roaming around this dungeon for a while now. Several hours, actually. Especially considering that you keep taking short rests to try attuning things and to learn how to use your new weapons. So when we left off, Laramendus went to talk to his friend Nalia back in Bromdor, using Ash's special telecommunication ability. Meanwhile, Vendar and Raiken went to go try and learn about using their new guns. Guns. And they figured out from Jebel how to load and fire the Thunder Gun, which seems to be living up to its name because it's about twice as powerful as the musket. And ridiculously loud. Thunderously loud, one might say.
It's big and cool.
Big and cool. During the time that Laramendus was speaking with Nalia, Leah discovered that Vendar had gone against her wishes and snuck a whole bunch of nasty-smelling gunpowder into her bag of holding, and went about trying to destroy it out of spite and anger. The group, fearing for its life because they don't understand how these chemical compounds work.
And rock gnomes are crazy and dangerous.
Rock gnomes are crazy and sometimes a little bit dangerous.
At least one person has taken heed.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Yes, it does feel like days and weeks, but it was only hours. You are now trying to kill the last couple hours before you get to take your long rest. I think most notable from last week was Vendar and Raiken wandering off caused the party to be split, which they realized when they got jumped by monsters. But then they saved themselves using battle tactics taught to them by Laramendus, known as the Battle Buddy system.
Right, it wasn't just a coincidence.
Battle Buddy system. It works. Use it. Love it. Trust it.
Big glove to it.
We left off with Raiken and Vendar. We're still in there practicing with the guns, learning what it took to fire them, what kind of rolls it made, the kind of damage and range they had. Alex, did I tell you how your thing actually works?
Yes, you gave me the rundown.
Okay, so you understand that the damage you deal is a burst 1 within 10, and you know what that means?
That it makes a awesome box that the squares around where it's centered on also get hit.
Yes, and you understand what within 10 means?
Within 10 feet.
Within 10 squares, so 50 feet.
Well, yeah. I mean, I got the gist of it.
Okay.
So
So a burst 1 just means that you choose one square and it hits one square out in all directions from that. A burst 2 would hit 2 squares out. So your aura is an aura 2, which is a burst 2. It hits 2 squares out from wherever you are.
Okay.
So this is 4th edition terminology that's really useful with the grid system, and in a lot of cases better than what they give you in 5th edition, so I'm trying to use that.
Okie doke.
Okie doke. And then the rest of the group was back at the encampment here, dealing with Nalia, and then apparently dealing with Leah. So now everything is wet, because someone created water, by someone I mean Jewel, and drenched the area in water. And Leah ran back with a sword and hacked open a bunch of the powder packs, spraying their contents all around. So now there's a rotten egg smelling slick muck all over that area. She spattered in it. Lars spattered in it. I believe he prestidigitationed himself clean.
So did I, but I also went inside the wagon.
You went inside the bag and?
Wagon.
Wagon.
Oh, wagon. Okay, so I'll put you here. This red square indicates where the pile of powder packages is. Powder charges. And I think that's all the information we need. Where is Cyrus? Cyrus was sneaking back. So, I don't know. Sam, you want to start us off?
Where is Yukikaze?
Yukikaze is at the back of the wagon. He's this.
Okay. Oh, right, because he's one of the Ewoks.
Yeah.
Wait, is he actually? Is Malachi here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So, Laramet is going to walk up to Yukikaze and say, I would like to not be here when I cast the teleportation circle. And I think,
Don't mind me.
That's probably not.
Giant Kubriel.
Don't mind me.
Nalia had commented on the interference in the image that Ash created, and it concerned me as well. I was hoping to dimension door out and go a ways away. Would you accompany me?
Yes, I'll accompany you, but we probably should put the sword away before we go.
Well, I think that would
I think we have a fair amount of time. Voice in the sky?
Yes,
So, yeah.
you wanted to do it at the end of the long rest, so
Yeah.
In the last hour, in the last half hour?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So it's a it's 1 minute, I think, to cast the spell. So hold on, let me just double check.
There is just one thing that I've been... What, Malcolm?
Yeah, yes, Larman. Just I'm more than happy to accompany you, but we need to put the sword up before we go. Because it's still, I have it in my hand still because I had just picked it up and put it away in its sheath.
Right. So what I was going to say was, I was looking at the rules for how spells slots get restored, and it was somewhat unclear, just because 5th edition is full of unclear things, and while a long rest is supposed to be 8 hours basically for everybody, even though elves only have to trance for 4 of those hours, it says that you get your spells back after they finish trancing. It doesn't say at the end of a long rest. So,
Really?
the question is, yeah, it's really weird. So I would think it would come back at the end. I want to just standardize it and have them all just come back at the end of 8 hours. But then it kind of causes problems with things that have happened earlier in the game, where you had your spell slots restored, or at least the elven wizard who preceded you had his spell slots restored after his 4-hour trance. But if you can find something that refutes that, by all means. But it seemed to me that there was at least one place in the book that made it sound like the spell slots would be restored after the trancing was done, as opposed to after the entire rest was complete.
So you can change your spell list after a long rest. That is explicitly called out on the wizard thing.
Okay. And that would be at the end of the 8 hours, not at the end of the 4 hours. I'm just trying to make sure I've got this
You
right.
regain all expanded spell slots when you finish a long rest. It's the last sentence in the first paragraph of preparing and casting spells under the wizard.
Good. I'm happy with that. So, what you want to do, what you're talking with Yukikaze about, and you can be explicit with him, isn't going to take place for, like, 11 hours, because you've got, like, 3 hours between now and the beginning of the rest, and then very nearly 8 hours after that.
Yeah.
That's what you discussed with Nalia. But they were having a primordial lesson at that time, so they weren't necessarily listening and paying attention.
May I interject on the whole trancing, restoring spell slots thing?
What have you got? Because
Well,
I'm happy.
I mean, under trancing it says, after the... Well, let me just phrase this exactly. That's when you sleep instead they meditate deeply and remain conscious for 4 hours a day. After resting in this way, you gain the same benefit that a human does from 8 hours of sleep. So that...
Which is not a long rest.
Is it not?
It is arguable that it is not. It means that you can fight exhaustion.
Yeah, you regain 1 level of exhaustion. You don't have to gain a level of exhaustion. And all of that, like all of the things that you gain by sleep. So it counts as an 8 hours worth of sleep.
Yeah. I'm going to try and be a little strict, and I mean against the book, and say if the book didn't say use the phrase long rest, then I'm going to say there's too much room for interpretation there, and I'm going to go with a ruling from the book that does use the phrase.
Alright, fair enough.
Yeah,
I have no stake in this. I was just asking.
Yeah.
It's a fair thing to bring up.
That, and to be fair to you, that's the line that was making me think they got it back after 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's because 5th edition is so vague.
5th edition is vague and in some places self-contradictory when it decides not to be vague anymore.
On very rare occasions, though, it does tell you what it means.
Yes.
Alright, so... Yes. We figured out our stuff.
I have another question for the voice in the sky.
Yep.
Were there, like, rocks around that we could see out in the desert? Things that might be stable ground for drawing a circle with chalk?
The place seemed to be very uniformly powdered. The rocks that you would have seen would have been, small boulder-sized things. And small boulder meaning, like, up to and including, I would say, horse-sized.
I just need a square.
Then that would be large enough, so yes.
Cool. Because that was the other thing of, can we actually do that?
Yeah.
Because I don't think I can draw it in sand?
Yeah, those things existed. Those things were scattered about. I wouldn't call them abundant. What is abundant is sand. But such a thing could be found, and I would say that, within a 500-foot square around this place, there's likely one.
Cool.
Would you remember exactly where it is so that you could just teleport to it? I think that you have enough knowledge about the storms to know that it could have moved.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that we'd want to leave a little bit earlier than intended to get out there and find a good spot for it.
Yeah, I think that last half hour is fine, and as long as you're not doing, like, labor or anything. Actually, you can do labor as long as it's not 1 hour's worth. So as long as whatever you're doing takes less than an hour, you should be fine.
Wait, does that mean that we actually get to comb the desert?
If you've brought your comb, I cannot stop you from using it on the sand.
Where were we in actual stuff? Now that mechanic stuff.
The last thing that happened in character was that you had asked Yukikaze to accompany you, and he had said he wanted to do something with the sword, which you can see that he is holding the flame red and black sheath of the sword you know is cursed.
Yeah. Had he said what he wanted to do with it?
He used the phrase "put up."
Well, because I obviously can't hold. So I'm saying it's like, since I can't keep this on me because I'll tune to it, we need to do something with it. Do you think Leah is calm enough that we can put it back in the bag?
I turned to Leah.
Yeah, I'm in the wagon.
She's in the wagon. Oh, you're probably here, though, because you're talking to Yukikaze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
let me see if Leah's kind of calmed down for a second and see if we can get this put away for a moment. So I'll walk up to Leah and be like, "You doing all right now? How you feeling?"
All right, so you push apart the leather covering on the wagon and climb up inside. The wood creaks beneath your weight as you climb in, and you hear the thumping of his footsteps as he moves through the wagon, Leah.
Yeah, I'm just sulking in the corner. What do you want?
Well, I know you're upset about something. I'm guessing someone put those in your bag when you didn't want them in there.
I'm just gonna give you a glare.
Well, could you please allow me to at least put this sword back in there till I can attune it later, in a more reasonable setting, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay, fine.
And I'll scooch the sword into her bag and say, "Thank you very much, Leah. I'm sorry that that whoever put all those in there did that."
It was Vendar. Who else?
That's a fair point. He's probably the only one that could have done it without your noticing either. Alright, well,
I be low enough to even consider it.
Yeah. Well, I have to go help Laura Mendes. I'll be back shortly. So I'll give her a little pat on the shoulder, consoling kind of, and then head out of the cart to Laura Mendes.
We don't need to leave for quite some time.
Oh, okay.
It's going to take a while for Nalia to acquire the reagents that I had asked her for. Speaking of which, if we could take 3,100 gold pieces from the bag to pay for 2 casts of Reincarnate, 2 casts of Greater Restoration, and 3 casts of Revivify worth of reagents. I feel like the spell components will be more useful to us than the money at the moment.
So just tell me how much that is, Sam.
3,100.
Okay, sorry, I missed that. You did say that. I remember.
I
You did say that.
don't know if I sent it to you.
No, but you said it just now. My brain
Yeah.
skipped over the number 3,100.
But,
I'm gonna toss Laramandas the bag. Here, just keep it. Just don't let Vendar put anything in it.
Okay. Okay. Leah hands
try.
you this belt pouch, basically. You know that it's the bag of holding. There is still a noticeable odor of sulfur about it.
I'm basically going to need to empty out my backpack, fill it with the gold, and give up my backpack. Aren't I?
I mean, 3,100 is kind of a lot. Did you do the math on what that weighs?
I didn't. I think Yukikaze is going to need to be the one to carry it.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have trouble with that.
Did you find another Kubral patient?
Yeah, she doesn't always look angry like that, so I kind of like this one better.
I feel like she very rarely do.
Yeah,
It's
she's-
only 62 pounds of gold.
That's gonna fill up a backpack.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight.
Okay,
Assuming when you say 31, it was 3,100.
Yeah, 3,100.
Alright.
Yeah, 3,100.
So, where were we in regards to finishing the first short rest?
It's been done.
First short rest was finished. Yeah.
Alright. Then we needed to test Jebel's armor. See if it's cursed.
I guess I ultimately leave it up to Alex, which icon he prefers, but I thought this was a bit more accurate. So, Jebel,
Yes,
you have the information I sent you last week.
I do.
Okay.
The picture is fine, by the way.
Okay. So, I believe that you have been indirectly addressed by Cyrus, who's kind of standing between you and Lair as they're having this conversation. That you should have. He believes you should have finished attuning the armor and should be able to tell him about it. So, you may tell him about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think Chris is probably going to take this out.
Come again?
In character or out of character?
Both. I had trouble understanding what you were saying.
I said, yeah, I think remove curse might remove this armor.
Could you
Would you
be a
care to
bit more
elaborate?
specific? Yeah, that.
Well, I can't really take it off.
Interesting.
Is that the only effect you are aware of it granting you?
Well, it has other things, but like that's a negative. How long did it take me? A minute to take it off?
It's not plate, it's leather armor,
It's
so...
light armor, and I think light armor only takes a minute to remove.
Let's see if I can...
I'm not sure it even takes that. It might just be an action for taking it off, but like a minute to get on.
Leather armor? Yeah, I don't think it's much more than that now. Leather armor is like
Light
straps.
armor, to take it off and put it on is a minute.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna take it off and place it on the ground.
Okay.
I thought
And
you
then I'm
just said
just
you
gonna-
couldn't take it off, though.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna hold on, and I just stand there, arms out.
You all stand around watching him as he places the armor on the ground and then stands there like in a T pose. And the seconds stretch out, and the awkward silence just grows and becomes pregnant and gives birth to lots of little awkward silences, each more awkward than their parent.
That's a way to put it.
And then, finally, after a full minute of it sitting on the ground, you're just staring at him in this T-pose as he says, hang on, just wait for it. There's a sudden poof, and the armor disappears from the ground and reappears on him, fully attached.
Huh.
That was cool. Can I do it again?
Does it... Are there any other downsides?
It degrades every time it gets hit.
So you could just get it beat off of you as well.
Yeah, but then it repairs itself.
Okay, that's an important part of that to know. So, what benefits does it have?
It's pretty tough. I mean, even starting off, it's pretty tough, but it does.
So you may describe it as a plus something armor, if that's what it is.
I don't know how to word that.
It is +2 studded armor.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang. That's... almost as good as plate.
Hmm.
Well, almost has the potential to be almost as good as plate.
Yeah, as long as I don't get hit.
And so if it hits, it becomes, like, just a single hit will make it less effective?
Yeah.
I punch him in the shoulder.
We roll to attack.
I think I have negative strength. Double checking. I do. I'm not proficient, so 15 to hit.
I think everyone's proficient with unarmed strikes.
It's not listed, and I have a set list of things I'm proficient with.
Really? I thought I read that.
But maybe I'm wrong.
You are proficient in an unarmed strike.
Yeah.
Everyone is proficient in an unarmed strike.
Okay, then it should be
17. Oh no, what were you? +3 at this level?
I think we're +4 at this level, so that makes it a 19.
Is a
Oh,
19.
that hits.
Okay. You manage to punch him in the shoulder, and the epaulette literally tears and falls off.
Huh. How long does it take to repair?
It's a
I
question
have
you
to
should
guess.
ask before maiming the armor.
Do we
That
have
was
time?
really dull. I'm just sitting at the back of the cart, by the way, just waving my feet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Apparently,
I'm
Raiken's still
cool,
up there
okay.
next to you, like crouching in the back.
You could call same.
Sorry.
So, do you know how long it takes to repair?
Every time I get a rest.
Okay, well, we'll be taking one of those momentarily, so that's not a problem.
The strip of leather that used to be the epaulette of the armor just sort of lies on the ground and mocks you. Whoa.
Huh. So, I mean, we don't really need to get that unattuned right now. Since it's nothing particularly harmful, perhaps uncomfortable, but I would think that safe and some discomfort might be good while we're still in this place. Does anyone else have any thoughts on the matter?
How am I going to the toilet in this thing?
You can remove it for short periods of time.
That's true. Just, you know,
Yeah,
take
you
this
can
thing.
exactly 1 minute.
Make sure that you get it all out in 1 minute.
Doesn't it have crotch flaps?
I think he's worried about pooping.
You just pull it down real quick and squeeze it out in a minute.
No, yeah, that was in character, which is why I didn't count Tristan's answer. That's an answer.
crotch flap.
So, I mean, I guess it's between you and Leah, but those are my thoughts on the matter.
Eh,
What do you two think? Kind of gesturing towards Laramintus and Yukikaze.
I think it's really dull.
If this is the extent of the curse on this, it seems like it may be safe enough to risk. The cloak as well, provided it is attuned shortly before we need to descend.
So it takes another hour for me to attune that, right?
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting attuning it now, though, because I don't want to build up toxic
I mean,
gas.
I'm not here even. I
Yeah.
was just asking Tristan.
Yes, it would take you one short rest to attune. Except for very special circumstances, which tends to be like super unique items that have a particular history to them. It's almost always one short rest with the item.
I don't like the cloak. Makes it harder to hit Venda.
If it's in my backpack, will it automatically attune to me?
It'll, you know that
No,
it
you
would
have to
do that,
wear-
yeah.
Okay, good.
So I guess next is the boots.
Boots.
Das Boot.
Remember that you have 3 hours between now and when you should start resting. If you're doing one item at a time, you have the boots, the sword, and the belts. And was there anything else? I don't think so,
that's
actually.
it.
I think that was it.
Works out perfectly, don't it?
Yep.
Given the apparent nature of the curses that we have seen so far, I do believe that it is worth just attuning the sword once again and trying to get a better feel for the curse. Instead of jumping to the conclusions that we had previously been jumping to.
I agree, but I still think we should do this one at a time. Just in case there is something particularly nasty.
That seems fair.
Nasty.
So I suppose we could do the sword next while we have most of us here, and so that you two can leave. I'm assuming I could hear their conversation earlier.
Yukikaze appears next to, Larmendus.
Wait, appears? Where did I go?
You were on the cart, and then somebody said sword, and that you could use it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, we're gonna go with that.
Get
Completely
sword? I get the
acceptable.
sword?
So we're ready?
Somebody said sword.
Let's do this, but
By the numbers,
I don't
people.
know, maybe just in case we have him take off his armor or something, so we have a, just in case.
Are you gonna help me take it off?
I mean, I will if that's what we are agreeing to do here.
If that's what we need to do for you to allow me to attune, then sure. It's
Jebba's
like,
gonna move
come
down.
on, I get to wield 2 magic swords,
Alright. Well,
and I
then,
dual wield. So this is like gonna be fantastic.
with Cyrus' help, you can get your armor off in about 2 minutes.
Alright, we're gonna do that. And then I will go back into the car. Well, where's Leah? Where'd she move to?
I mean, she's still sitting on the back of the cart with swinging her legs.
Alright. So I'll scoot back into the cart after I get my armor off. Yeah.
Alright, you climb back up, you're now towering over her, you're like crouching next to her. Because she's like sitting on the back of it, like she was at face height before if you just walked up to the cart without climbing into it.
I'm just super excited. So it's
Okay,
really
so yeah, he climbs up next to you and then crouches down. He's just like this giant dragonborn towering over you as you're sitting on the cart.
Larmendus is going to give him a confused look.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm fortunate enough that they're allowing me to tune the sword now. Can I have it back now, please?
Larmendus slowly, while staring at Yukikaze, reaches into the bag of holding
Oh,
and
wait.
then pulls out the sword.
Yeah, I too just looked at Laramandas.
At this point, you notice that Leah doesn't have the bag of holding on her belt, and that Laramendus does.
Whoops.
Here
I
you
love-
are.
Oh, I let my excitement get the best of me now. Sorry.
Yeah, I just sigh.
Hey,
I
like,
shake my head.
out of character, I'm really freaking tired, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Yukikaze takes a sword and then like scampers off over here.
Oh no, I'll scamper off. That's fine. Yeah.
I mean, because you're gonna want to swing it and stuff. Get a feel for it.
No, actually, I'm gonna do cool stance.
You're
I'm
gonna do a
gonna
kata?
pose. I'm gonna do a pose. Yes.
Oh, just
So
a
we're gonna let
pose.
them attune it now and not right
He's gonna
before
do a
he's gonna
pose
use
and then
it?
he's gonna stand there like a statue
Yeah,
for 1
'cause the
hour.
point's to see if we want him to be able to attune it right before he's possibly going to use it.
So
So
we get.
safe.
I'm gonna do kind of a squatting stance with my sword over my head.
Yep.
In my right hand, holding it over my head with my hand extended, with the sword blade hovering over my left hand.
Mm-hmm.
Hold that
Laramandas,
squat
you
for
wouldn't
an
have to know
hour.
whole person, right?
Yeah, he's gonna do that for an hour.
You're gonna do that for now.
And
He's getting his
also, I
squats
need
in right now.
Hey, you wanna know what? Yukikaze is a dedicated swordsman.
I mean, you have high strength. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Of course you do. You do that, Tristan. I'm gonna roll low just because I wanted to do something fancy.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I have a decent plus and con.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Do remember that you are not wearing the armor right now, so you don't get any benefits from it at this moment.
I don't think it does anything for my con save.
I just mean in general. So if somebody decides to punch you and they say roll, you remember that your AC is like 10 or 9 right now, because it's 10 plus your Dex mod. What is your Dex mod?
Okay. 2, so it's 12.
Okay, you got 12 AC right now.
Really, dice?
Yeah, really.
Alright, so
What'd you
I
roll?
got a total of 14.
14. Okay, no, that's fine. You can feel your muscles starting to burn after a while, but you push through and you hold this awesome pose for an hour.
Can we say while he's doing that,
Alright,
I have
and I'll
something I want to say to
loosen.
Laramandas.
I'll loosen up a bit there.
I do want to ask, while this is happening, Vendar and Raiken, who are shooting off their guns, how long you planned to do this? Because you can do it for the full hour, and obviously not even go through all the ammo, because there's so much sitting there, but, you know, if you do it for, you know, a full 2 hours, those bags are going to start to empty out.
Do that, no.
Saw it once, and he doesn't want to really do it until he gets some actual live combat.
Okay, so we'll say that you spent the hour down there. You each, you know, shot off maybe 40 rounds each. Just testing and understanding how it goes.
Okay.
Remember that that's double the resources for the Thunder Gun, so 80. You multiply that by a quarter to figure out how much weight that is, and the bags were 30 and 50 pounds of shot and powder charges each. I guess I'll do that. Just tell you.
I assume I would have told Bendar what Kubriel told me was happening.
Okay. So, a sizable chunk of the resources is gone. Since for the Thunder Gun, that was 20 pounds of shot and 20 pounds of powder.
Only take the rest of this powder.
It's 10 pounds.
Keep it in the. There's only 10 pounds of powder left.
Well, it was a 30-pound bag of powder. Each of those bags was 30 pounds. But remember that I said that each of the bags of powder was also all the same stuff. There were 4 of them, 30 pounds is 120. You went through 20 pounds out of one bag. So there'd only be 10 pounds left in that bag.
There's still 3 other bags of it. All right.
Well, we'll say there's 2 other full bags, and then the bag you were pulling from, you would have gone through 10 pounds of, so there's 20 pounds left in that. So there's 60, and 20 is 80, and 10 is 90. Together you went through 30 pounds. Well, you had already taken... How much had you taken? Well, how much did you put in the bag of holding? I forgot already.
I put it in the chat.
Has it on a sheet. Will you help me out there, Quacko?
Yeah. You're talking about the
It was
balls
20,
or
25, I think, right? The shot. Or
the thunder gun shot?
No. I'm speaking wrong. I meant to say the powder charge.
Oh, the ones that destroyed?
Yeah. You destroyed some of them, not all of them.
I thought I did.
15 pounds of black powder and then 25 pounds of each of the...
It's 15 pounds of powder, and I did destroy all of them. We did specify taking out, like...
You took out all of them and you made a pile, but then I thought you only struck the pile once. I told you that you cut the top of the pile. Were you just sitting there hacking away at it?
Gotcha. No, I misunderstood you. I thought it meant that I didn't get all of them out.
No, you got all of them out. It's just that striking the pile once with the sword would only destroy a few of the bags. Like.
Yeah, I get it now. I didn't right away, but I got it now.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was, as he said, 15 pounds, but
15,
I removed it from the bag of holding since it's no longer in the bag of holding.
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
I no longer had the track of those, but I still have the track of the lead balls and thunder gun shots.
Okay, so yeah, there's 5 pounds left in the bag that you've been pulling from Vendar, and 10 pounds left in the bag that Raiken has been pulling from. As for shots, it's the same thing. Minus 20 out of 50 means there's 30 pounds minus... You said it was he had taken 10 pounds of the thunder gun shot?
I took half a bag of each of them. So 25 pounds of balls, 25 pounds of thunder gun shot, and 15 pounds of black powder.
Gotcha. Okay. So you took half of everything. Alright, I try to remember. I'll write it down.
It's in the chat if you want to pin it.
I'll just... It's okay.
Yeah, so you'll quickly run out of powder at this point, but I haven't removed the balls and the shot as I didn't find them. I guess if I spent some time to actually look for them, I would, but I haven't.
We should probably bring more black powder bags since that's not gonna last. In the chest on the cart.
Well, keep some of it on us, and then keep the rest,
of course,
on the cart.
But if Leah's gonna throw it out and try to destroy it if she finds it in the bag.
To be fair...
Wait, do you guys know this?
It's unreasonable.
Does smell.
But that bag is group property, it's not just her bag. And she was there.
As may be the case, you should probably at least apologize to her.
That would probably help.
Yes, we should probably make our way back to the group. I still have to attune my...
So before we go, I want to check hand crossbows. There were hand crossbows, right?
Yeah. Hand crossbows. There's every kind of crossbow over there, including the arbalist. You want a particular style?
Is there anything special about them, or are they all the same?
I mean, they're all mundane, but they're all different styles, different cultural styles is what I mean. Different motifs. elven, orcish, more fancy looking, more rugged looking, more menacing looking. Things with different gods' faces and symbols carved into them, that kind of thing.
Is there one that's like clockwork looking? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like the Raiken one?
Sure. There
I'll
would be
take that
one
one.
that looks a bit more clockwork. It's going to function the same as a normal one, because I haven't designed a special. The Arbalest was the one that I designed to be a more powerful version, and it takes more to use it. But you can get a rock gnome styled a hand crossbow. It will function just like a normal crossbow, same damage and all that. But it'll be recognizable as being from this Clockwork City.
One of those. I just want to, because I'm thinking of just sticking the silence string on that, so then if I need to use that, I can just pull the hand crossbow off and shoot it.
That's an interesting idea. You could do that.
I'm going to take one of those.
Okay, you take one. You have yourself a clockwork-looking crossbow. It's
Thank you.
got, symbolism of the rock gnomes on it. And all of the metal gears are delicate and golden looking. But after having spent this hour of just loading and firing and loading and firing, you feel very comfortable doing this, and you know you'll be able to reliably do it in combat.
Alright. So we got 2 full bags of the powder. We could take those. It's like 60 pounds. You think you can carry Raiken?
Carry. Just added the thunder gun to my stuff. Thank you, Tristan.
You're welcome. I created it, so I was like, yeah, I'll just add it on there for him so he doesn't have to go searching for it.
I can carry up to 255 pounds.
In the meantime, I'm continue reading that book I started.
And I guess I keep teaching.
Okay.
Unless, of course, Laramendus is willing to give me another. I think he was teaching me Sylvan. Let me double check.
I think I was, but I need to count out 3,100 gold pieces.
Don't you have like an unseen servant for that?
I think the unseen servant was filing gold pieces.
He currently was how much gold was that? 25 gold?
25.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
we'll
mean
knock
that's
it out
a
of the bag.
he's literally taking a gold coin and filing it down until there's nothing, and then taking a loan and filing it down until there's nothing. And he's basically just got this big pile of gold powder in front of him. He's working away diligently, but it still after this hour of work, it still looks like he's got, maybe 15 coins left to do. It's slow work. He's just very diligent and doesn't have to take rests.
Then I guess I keep teaching whatever it is I was teaching.
I could carry about 70
I
pounds.
believe I was teaching Primordial.
You can carry about 70 pounds.
Before
Without being encumbered.
before Cyrus starts teaching, Jebel wants to talk to Laramendus about something.
Can I determine how much I can carry before I'm encumbered?
It should be on your sheet on D&D Beyond in the top left of the equipment tab. It'll tell you what your encumbrance level is, and it'll tell you how much you're carrying. Thomas wants to ask Sam a question, so let me let him do that, and I'll help you with that in a second.
I like 40 pounds, so nice.
Alright, so Jebel goes up to Laramendus.
Yes.
I think we should all, before we rest, we should discuss tactics for this thing we're going to face?
I believe that's reasonable once we're all back together again.
I think we've each got abilities that might play off against each other quite well.
I agree. Ran out of thunder
Okay.
gunshot. But once
And then-
Raiken and Venda are back, we can have a more thorough discussion.
Yes. Okay. And if Cyrus is teaching, can I go and join in on that lesson?
You may.
The thunder gun shot during practice.
Yeah, because you put 25 pounds of a 50-pound bag in the,
Multiple 50-pound bags, though.
Huh? Oh, actually.
More than one.
For the thunder gun? No. There was the one. And actually, so I lied. There's...
used all of it.
No, you didn't use all of it. I did my math and then forgot what I had done. There is 5 pounds left in the bag that you have down there with you. You didn't use all of it. This is wrong. I did my math and then forgot that I did my math. So, these are the totals of what's left. Down in the bags after practice.
Okay, plus the ones that's in the bag of holding. which is
Right.
Not that much powder, but it is 25 pounds of thunder gun shots. So
Yeah.
that means that you have 30 thunder gun shots.
Yeah. And just
Left
remember
in
that, 25 pounds of thunder gun shot is 100 thunder gun shot bags, because they're a quarter pound each. And that's 50 shots with the thunder gun. That's still 50 shots with the thunder gun.
That'll take me some through.
In combat, in terms of combat, yeah, that'd take you a while. This was just you sitting there, loading it, firing it, loading it, firing it, loading it, firing it, to get a feel for it.
We're gonna have some pretty bad tinnitus at the end of this. Can't hear shit. Standing in a room firing guns over and over.
Mop.
There weren't any headgear next to the guns, were there?
Headgear down there. There were, as part of the armors, helmets and things. There would be, tiara.
No, I meant like to muffle the guns, like next to the guns, obviously belonging to the guns.
No.
So those weren't that gentle.
Ear protection wasn't all that important. You're busy winning a war.
It's a prototype. Why would you build gear to protect yourself from a prototype that you don't even know what it does yet?
Okay, so I can carry about 40 pounds, and you can carry about 70 pounds.
Yes.
Thunder gun. We can take charges. The bags of powder charges, and then that most empty bag, we can just fill it. So you can get 45 pounds of the powder charges. Then you can get the thunder gun shot, and I can take 10 pounds of muskets.
So I got 40 pounds of powder charges. A thunder gun. That's 45.
I was thinking 45 of the powder and 5.
How much do you want me to take a musket?
If you carry 45 of the powder charges and then 5 of the thunder, you carry 20 pounds. So you can carry up to 20 pounds of the muskets, however much you want of that. I'm gonna get 10 pounds of the musket balls, and then up to 20 pounds of musket balls. Yeah. We're gonna load it up and march back to this place. Hopefully we don't get jumped.
We'll do that. So I've got 65 pounds worth of.
You've got 65 pounds of powder and 5 pounds of thunder gun shot,
No,
Raiken?
I got 40 pounds of powder.
Okay.
Pounds of powder.
Pounds of powder. Powder.
Yeah, because I can only carry. So I was thinking 45 pounds of powder, and then the 5 would fit you to 50 pounds, and then you can carry up to 20 pounds of musket balls if you want. Okay, 30 pounds of powder, and 10 pounds of musket balls. Powder. Thing we're gonna run out the easiest with.
I mean, it is a resource that both of you will draw off of, so you will be the one you run out of fastest.
Need to get. Well, I think we should get all of it, especially since Leah destroyed some.
Which you don't know about.
I do. Raiken told me. Gabriel told him.
I mean, I don't know the whole story. I just know that she told me.
And they're probably.
She tells you that it's wet and stinky up there, and apparently people like it that way.
Purple one, which I can make assumptions is Leah had a sword, and she wasn't very happy.
Just out of curiosity, you can all hear each other okay, right?
Not all
People
okay,
are breaking up a bit for me.
Yeah, there's a bit of breaking up.
I'm not asking about me, I'm just asking about you guys hearing each other.
I mean,
Yeah.
Raiken broke up a bit, but that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been
I
staring at
struggled
my connection, which is red, and it's like all kinds of broken up. I'm just like, okay, hopefully that's just me.
Okay, gotcha.
My
No,
connection
no,
is going in and out.
yeah, I can hear everyone but Raiken and Vendar well. Raiken and Vendar both struggles for me.
I wish I knew how.
What do you think? I have 40 pounds of powder charges. The last 5 pounds of the thunder gun shot. 8 pounds of musket balls.
I need that last musket balls number one more time.
20 pounds.
20 pounds. Alright.
Oh, and another, actually, so 45 pounds of powder charges, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we got all the powder charges and the thunder gun shot. We're just leaving musket balls left over.
Yeah, I see that. There you have it. All that's left in the armory is 85 pounds of musket balls. You
Everybody else finds it.
you took everything or fired everything else.
It must just be fucked up. How many bullets we shot into it?
I mean, so if I skip on back over here, what are you, room 18? Nope. 17? Nope. You know what? Why am I guessing when I can just look at my cheat sheet? I could not guess. There we go. So you guys have been firing at your little line of mummies. There's basically nothing substantial left of these bodies. You've just blown them into tiny shards all over the place. And this back wall here and like the edges of these rows here are just covered in pockmarks and holes and splinters of wood, where your musket balls and shot have been just sort of grazing them, pecking them, or embedding in them. This, like, and I would say, like, this whole area here that I've highlighted is just black with soot from the ends of the guns.
So much soot.
And I would say that as you're, like, going over to the bags and discussing what to take and, like, who's carrying what, there's a considerable amount of, what? What did you say? Hold on. You should take these! I can hear you, don't yell. What?
Pretty much.
like, here, take these 5 pounds of powder. What? Take them. What?
No, I've already got that. It was fun. What?
I don't want to shoot anymore.
What?
Should. Okay.
Alright, so you guys gather up all that stuff. You are laden with weight. Your bags are heavy. They are noticeably difficult to carry around, but you make your way back to this room. And you find that, remind me who was having a lesson. I know Cyrus was having a lesson with Jebel and Lara Mendez. I don't know who was teaching, though.
I was the one teaching.
Alright, Cyrus is teaching.
I'm teaching Primordial to Jebel and possibly Yukikaze because he was there for the last one.
Yukikaze is meditating on his sword. He can hear the lesson, but I don't know that he can actually benefit from it because he can't participate.
Alright.
But, so, Jebel and Laramendas may mark off 1 hour of Primordial.
Laramendas had summoned the unseen servant.
You're right, and he was counting coins.
And was counting gold. He was not paying attention to a primordial lesson, unfortunately.
That's fair. That's fair. So Jebel may mark off an hour of Primordial. Leah, what were you doing?
Reading a book.
Reading a book?
Yeah, the book I started last time.
Okay, so, Yukikaze and Raiken, tromp back up the stairs at this point. Their footsteps heavy. They seem tired and happy. As you cross the top of the stairs, Kubriel pads over to you, Raiken, and pushes her head into your chest.
Hello.
You
Kubriel,
smell bad.
It's probably our gunpowder.
You smell worse than it smells here.
Oh no, it smells pretty bad here.
Well, here it's wet. Whatever that stuff is. Gunpowder.
Oh no, who wet the gunpowder?
The noose. No. Jebel.
Oh, Jebel?
He made water.
Know why you did that?
Because he likes being wet. I don't know.
Very well.
They were all getting up in arms about the purple Leah one, and I don't know. It was confusing. I was over here watching the lizards, like you told me to.
Did very good.
I know. She turns her head to the left as though she sees something suddenly.
What's going on?
Pet me. My left ear. Right ear.
Okay, left ear or right ear or
No,
left ear?
she turned her head left, so it would be right ear.
Raiken will pet her right ear.
Yes. She kind of like falls over sideways.
Okay.
Like stretching out so that you can pet her belly.
Raiken's not gonna crouch down to rub her belly.
She makes an unhappy noise.
Maybe later.
Maybe you should find out what's going on then.
I need to.
Her tail just sort of flicks back and forth as she lies on her back, her head pointed, toward the stairs you just came up.
Raiken will go further into the room then.
Alright, you find that these guys are, Cyrus is explaining conjugations of a verb in a language you don't speak, to to Jebel, who seems to be listening intently and taking some notes. And Raiken, Yukikaze is standing, 5 feet off from Jebel in a pose that looks like he's going to charge forward and strike with the sword, but he seems completely unflinching.
What's going on with...
He's like, his legs are spread in a horse riding stance, he's low, and he's got the sword curled up over his head and then, like, rested on his left wrist, which is out in front of his face.
What's going on with him?
We turned him into a statue. It's safer that way.
Roll deception.
So I got a natural 20. Let's see what my bonus is. I think it's pretty decent. Not proficient, so a little bit better. 23.
You may roll insight, Raiken.
You're not supposed to be there.
I wasted a 20 on that.
That was not a waste.
Is that?
I'm gonna stand directly in front of you and look into his eyes. He's gonna stand there and look.
See, I got a 21.
Eyes.
You got a 21. So as far as you can tell, Raiken's not moving, and Cyrus seems... Right, Yukikaze's not moving, and Cyrus seems to be completely sincere. They might have turned him into a statue, although it's the least stone-looking statue you've ever seen.
Are you sure you shouldn't still at least watch him, just in case?
I can still see him from here.
But you're distracted by giving a lesson.
He can't move, it'll be fine.
Alright, but I'm gonna go over to the wagon so that if the work and he strikes, he's gonna hit one of you two idiots.
Vendar, what's your response to this weird scene?
Let's go stand in front of Yukikaze and look at him right in his eyes, just intently.
I was really hoping for a reaction more like that.
Okay, you are now having a staring contest with the Dragonborn. He's quite a bit taller than you. Even like crouched in his stance, but like you could get something from the wagon to stand on to raise your height up to his eyes. He seems intently focused, and as he must have been concentrating on an attack when they turned him into a statue.
After this starts occurring, there's a very obvious grin on my face. And based on Vindar's perception, you can probably hear me say in my breath, "Sucker."
I guess.
I mean, I didn't roll insight. I wasn't listening to you. I'm just looking at you.
Yeah. I don't know. Opposed Constitution checks, I guess. Roll a Constitution check. Yukikaze and Vendar to see who blinks.
Oh.
19.
What'd you get, Vendar?
12.
A 12.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get up, you get it so that you can see into Yukikaze's reptilian eyes, and you stare intently and make faces for, a good 30 or so seconds, and finally, he hasn't moved, completely statuesque. Your eyes begin to sting and you're forced to blink.
Damn. You're good at that. I'm gonna go put my shit away from the wagon.
It seems he doesn't respond. As you move across the room to go put your shit away, you run into a pile of powder charges, the top layer of which looks slashed open, and the whole area around them, selected here, is just smattered with wet black powder.
Oh, that's a shame. What a waste.
There's definitely salvageable
We did that-
material here, but it is just nasty with the sprayed out powder of damaged bags.
Ah, that's gonna be gross. Damn it. I'll go back. I'll continue on to the cart.
Okay.
Yeah, Raiken got there way before you, so... And I'm curious if Raiken and Leah ended up having a conversation before Wenda showed up.
Yeah, Raiken would probably go to Leah,
Okay.
considering the vagueness of...
Yeah, that's fine. We can back up to there. So you move away from the statue Yukikaze over to the wagon. Leah's sitting on the back. She's kind of laying in the wagon. Her legs are hanging out the end, and she seems to be holding a book over herself, just thumbing through the pages. Meanwhile, Lara Mendes is sat on the ground next to the back of the wagon where her legs are, and you see that he's got her bag of holding and painstakingly is making small piles of gold coins, stacks of what look to be 10 each. And he's got at least, 20 of these stacks in front of him.
There is also, slightly off to the side next to me, a slowly growing pile of gold dust as a gold coin and a file are just going at it in the air.
You want to know the nice thing about Keen Mind? You can't lose count.
It's true.
So, hey, here.
I'm gonna do... flip a page and then look over at the older book. Well, look who decided to show up.
What? Why are you giving me trouble?
I don't know. Where you been?
I was testing the gun.
Of course you were. Is that what I decided to call it now?
I mean, it's called a thunder gun. That was on the description.
Have you heard what Wenda did?
Judging by over there, it seems like it's in your bag of holding based off of what he told me.
You told me. So you knew?
I didn't know it until we were down there.
Insight.
Gabriel told me what you kind of did up here.
Okay. Roll insight. Raiken, roll deception.
18.
18. What'd you get on insight?
Hold on. It's a bit of a... 25.
25. Okay.
Oh, wait, that was... Oh, I looked at the wrong number. Sorry, 20.
20. Still higher than
19.
18.
Yeah.
You know that he is not capable of lying.
Yeah. I looked at deception and not insight. That is how I got this huge difference. Yeah. I'm just gonna sigh then. Can you believe it?
No, on the one hand, I kind of do. It's Vendar. On the other hand, I don't condone it. You two need to have a chat and work things out.
I don't want to talk to him. As far as I'm concerned, he's dead to me.
Leah, or your papa,
Reaction.
we have our group be torn apart.
Why though? He can't. He told me, he asked me if I trusted him, and then he immediately betrays my trust. How can we trust? How can any of us trust him then? Why is he even with our party? obviously a thief by heart.
You know, been not the longest in our group. Since the group first started. Because of that, because of all I've seen him do, I do trust him. Poor decisions sometimes. He does it. Good intent.
Right, and yeah, for what I've seen of him, or what I've heard of him, I don't really believe that. Remember when he fought with Christopher about killing or not killing the thieves? And then we found out that he's been conspiring killing his own father. And before I met you guys, I also talked to a woman that claimed to have also been betrayed by him.
Well, even so, you've been with him this long. Have you seen and so much that you would turn your back on him?
He turned his back on me the moment he snuck that gunpowder in the bag.
All I ask is that you guys, and after that, if you still and don't, we can figure things out from there. But I ask at least to talk with him.
Fine, but for you, not for him.
I thank you. Dog, get over here.
Okay.
you do arrive at this point. You had just finished over, looking over this pile of wet, damaged powder charges. When you hear Venar, get over here.
Okay, I go to the cart.
You are at the cart. Again.
Let's see, we're none too happy about those.
You find yourself stepping gingerly around piles of gold coins that Laramendas is counting out of the bag of holding.
I have
On the
sit
floor?
up. I sat up and he's sitting with my legs and arms crossed, with a book next to me.
I believe you have something to say to Leah.
Sorry for sneaking those in. I know you didn't want them, but they're useful, and we need every weapon we can get. I wasn't able to convince you I'm not the greatest at... Obviously, you don't seem to like me all that much. I didn't do it to
Could I
hurt
tried
you.
a little longer? You first asked if I could trust you. Is this what a trustworthy person does?
These weapons will help us immensely. Not just against this lich, but against future enemies. Against Bala, we need these weapons.
That is not what we are arguing here.
Sorry that I snuck it into the bag. And the course of action I could see to get what we needed without further arguing. Which of course didn't work. As we won't keep any of the power charges in the bag.
do going forward, Vendar, so that again between you and Leah.
Well, we won't keep any powder charges in the bag, and I promise I will never steal the bag away from you and hide it in and put things in it again. Bag is not just your bag, it is the group's bag, so, take that into account.
Leah.
Fine. But I'll give you one last chance to see if I can trust you.
So you accept his apology then?
For now.
Hooray!
Alright, good.
Raiken will hug both, will reach over and grab both of them over the shoulders and bump into Larabin.
You definitely bump into Laramentis as he's counting.
Call the piles of coins over.
You're just like squeezing into his square, trying to hug them.
Should I roll to see if I knock over coins?
Yes.
Acrobatics check.
Yeah, I guess.
Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to use my 5th level or 4th level spells.
His tomb is 16, it's enough.
Yes. You bump into Laramentis' back as you lean over in your armor, but you manage not to disturb any of the piles of coins he's made. Only him. Just imagine you're just gonna crawl all the way across and into the wagon.
Yeah, I go into the wagon to stuff.
He smells terrible, Leah. Like
The wagon.
the gunpowder smell, but only like somehow stronger and sharper.
I would like to say something when Raiken comes back out of the wagon, within my line of sight.
Then I'm going to whisper softly. Hold on until I find that. There. Autolite, amusement, elation, watch my prestidigitation. Just going to clean him.
Raiken, you immediately notice that like your armor and hands brighten up, like a blackness had been erased, a layer of black grit had been removed, and you immediately notice that the air smells somewhat cleaner. It's missing that sharp, acrid smell. You find that the smell of gunpowder in the area dulls down significantly, especially around you.
Oh,
5 feet away.
thank you, Leah.
At this point, the short rest is over. Cyrus, you're done teaching Jebel for now. Jebel, you can have that hour of Primordial. Raiken, Yukikaze, you finish attuning the sword. So you over there, as you're concluding your lesson, you notice that the blade, as Yukikaze holds it over his head, toward his outstretched left arm, the pattern of waves etched into the side of the blade, once again starting at the hilt and moving out toward the tip, begins to fill in with a crimson color. It doesn't appear to glow, really, but it is noticeable against the shiny silver of the blade. And as soon as it reaches the end of the wave pattern, you notice that out at the tip of the blade, extended over his hand, again, a crimson drop of liquid begins to form and drips off, hitting the floor in front of him.
Leah, we may need to remove curse momentarily.
What? Well, I haven't figured this out yet. Hold on a second.
That's why I said momentarily. So what's it do, both positive and negative?
Well, I gotta wait a little bit until it sinks in.
You feel you understand the sword, Malachi.
Yep.
The scene is now on you, so I don't know what you're doing, but you have to put it on hold.
So like I said, once because they did the scene while I was tuning within the hour. When I finished that,
you did.
know,
You're done. You're finished.
I'll yeah, no, I'm staying what I said earlier. I'll loosen up a little bit, get out of my stance, you know, like roll my shoulders, you know. So yeah. I'll kind of swing the sword back and forth and where I'm standing, kind of do a little twirl.
Less twirling, more talking, please.
Just hold on a second. I'm not that great with the magic stuff like you guys. I'm trying to feel this out.
Feeling it out shouldn't be required. You should just know.
Well, I don't know at the moment. I don't know how long it takes to know. Because last time I was attuned to it, I didn't know. How long does it usually take?
The knowledge flows into your mind once you finish attuning it.
So you just see Yukazu scratching his head a little bit. Ponder. It looks like he's pondering.
As he ponders, the sword continues to drip droplets of red liquid onto the floor.
So, what does it do? The curse first, please.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's considered a curse.
It is. That's what the spell does. It removes curses.
Well,
Just
because
tell us.
Well, it increases my stats and it does the cool little thing where I can splash blood on my enemies, but from this cool dripping effect. But pretty much I think I can't get rid of it unless someone takes it off of me, is the only thing I can't do. It's like permanently stuck to me.
So you can't let it go.
I can't let it go. Is what I'm getting from the understanding of what this thing does.
None of what you're saying is true.
Well, okay, I'm wording it wrong. Should I just read what it does then? Well, that's what I mean, like, so, okay. Alright. Should I just read the stats if I choose to?
I mean, that's up to you. I sent you information. You choose what you want to do with that information. But, I mean, if you continue misrepresenting the information, I'm going to make you roll to lie to them, because you're lying.
Okay, no, I have no reason to lie to the guys, so... I'll
just reading it would be appreciated.
I'll just read it, because I'm trying to think of an interesting way to word it. So it's plus. It gives me a plus magic damage. I do. It has a sharper edge, so more good. On critical, I make a dex save. I have a chance to blind the enemy with the blood on the blade. Sword cannot be unattuned. Would that be a curse?
Yes.
That will be part of it, yes. And...
no one can technically take the sword from me. Like, I can put it down and someone can steal it, but it will return to me. Within a minute.
I encountered that before.
And well, What do you mean couldn't do that before?
And that was not in character. That was like in my
Oh.
campaign. I encountered that before.
Oh,
Yes, it was Derek's character.
and blood is created by the word does not come from the wielder.
That was a typo.
Oh, you typoed it then.
It's created by
By
the
the
sword.
sword. Yeah. Ah,
Pulls it from the
So-
plane of blood.
so, I believe the only curse is that I cannot attune it.
Okay, gonna roll insight. Just in case, because he's been kind of weird about this.
Yeah, roll deception, Malachi.
I need to pull out my dice.
Question is he weird in character or is he weird because Mal is tired?
I mean, all
I
of the
believe
above.
him wholeheartedly.
I mean, he was specifically weird in character last time,
That's true.
but so I'd like to hear your number first, so I can tell you how badly I missed it by.
Nice.
I have. Oh wait, I have a +1 to deception. I don't know where that comes from. The sheet must have
comes from your-
auto-filled it.
It comes from your charisma.
Oh, I have a +1 to charisma, so.
Exactly.
14.
Okay, I got a 7.
Nice.
They missed by half.
He's
Well, I rolled an 8.
look. He's telling you everything he knows about that blade, and he's being completely upfront and truthful about it.
For
It's
the record, I believe this was one of the traits Cyrus mentioned about himself when I first joined the group. I'm terrible at spotting liars.
So, curse isn't so bad.
So that means I can use it, guys, right?
I
As long as you
just
don't
look at
stab
Lemon
me
this.
in the back, I'm alright. I'm okay with it.
don't particularly see a problem with it. What do you think, Laramindus?
If that's truly all it does, then we can at least see.
And so, what benefits does it give you?
Other than it being super sexy,
It doesn't. It's not really that, but moving on.
it is, honestly. Gives me magical damage and on crit enemies have to make a dex save or they get blinded by blood for 1 round,
All right.
and no one can take it.
Would it happen to be +1, 2, 3, 0? If it just says it makes it magical, whatever damage,
Well-
then that would be +0.
It's I believe it's +2.
That would be a very effective weapon. So, do me a favor and set it down for a minute. I want to see just how this returns.
Yukikaze kind of jogs across the room, lays it on the farthest side, and then jogs back to the other side.
Okay.
Could you do me a favor and not have the cart between you and it, just for safety's sake?
You leave the
I'm
sword on the
not
floor.
that silly.
Come back. And you
Please.
strike a pose.
Oh no. I'm gonna get out of the predicted flight path, so I'm just gonna head over to the south side wall.
So he's like striking almost the same pose as when he was attuning it, except he's just like got both hands side by side above his head, as though he's got both hands on the hilt of the sword that isn't in his hand. And after,
wait. You're saying after I set it down, I go back and then I make the pose?
yeah,
Isn't
agree
that what
to
you
that.
did? That's what I thought you did.
I didn't say that, but Tristan reads my mind like a champ.
Yeah. And so a minute goes by of him standing there awkwardly with his hands poised above his head for the blade to appear in them. A confident smile on his face, and you hear the smallest little poof. And on his belt appears the sheath with the blade in it.
Okay.
Damn it!
Well, you're hoping for Mjolnir?
I do say that out loud. I'm like, damn it!
Oh, good.
The
That
sword
means
mocks
something
you
can't
from
get in
your
the way
belt.
and catch it or destroy it or something.
Yeah, it's not Mjolnir.
It's not Mew Mew?
It's not Mew Mew.
So I guess that one's not that bad. All it leaves now is the these boots and the belt. Well, my turn.
Alright, so when I put on my stuff, all the stuff that I picked up, the powder charges and the balls in the chest, I'm also going to put the mace that I've been carrying around since the beginning, because I've never used it, and I'm also going to put that in the chest, and that's where I'm going to replace that with my...
Oh,
my
right. The other thing I forgot to do. So I'll probably have a view of Raiken from my new vantage point. Did you forget to change your armor? It kind of looks like it's still a bit holy.
Raiken. Raiken?
Sorry, I was muted. There's nothing to change my armor with.
There was no
There
armor
is.
down there.
In the armor.
We were just in...
There was tons of
Was
plate
there
armor.
cord armor? No.
You know, you could change and then spend your time trying to like etch the symbol of cord into it or something.
He's made his decision.
All right then. Well, guess that's your choice. So I'm gonna put these boots on now.
Thank you guys. Love you, sword. Now I need to get my armor back on.
Malachi, do you have your
Oh,
character
please.
sheet open?
See.
Okay. Do you hit the refresh button?
Refresh. Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you also put the attunement slots? I need to do that. I don't think I did. Equipment.
Your short sword wasn't attuned anyway, so
Oh, okay.
I think the
Okay,
only
you
thing
can
you're
do that.
missing is, and I think it's because I keep forgetting to create it, is the pendant.
Yes. No, you made it. The draconic charm of elemental transference.
I do, but it's not listed as requiring attunement.
No, it's not.
Interesting.
Do you think it's just because it doesn't? We decided that because it doesn't give actual stat boosts. It just gives me the ability to apply my breath onto my weapon.
I'll check my notes and think about it some more, but there was something something interesting that I had in mind for it. Do recall that two of the you should mark down in the notes on your character that two of the points on the star are lit up still.
Yes, I do. I should mark that down. Yeah. And it was the green and white.
Was it white? I thought it was black.
Yes, you're right. Green and black.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. Green and
The
black.
black one is glowing like a malevolent purple, but they're both dim, so you'd have to be wearing, just like your silk shirt to see it through your clothing. When you wear it under your armor, it's not visible.
So, someone help me put my armor back on, please. Pretty please.
I can do that.
Actually,
I'm going
you
back-
are
I'm
wearing
back to-
you are wearing
Have-
just your silk shirt, so everybody else.
Quickly, How quickly can you do that, given the amount of time before your sword reappears at your hip?
It's already at my hip.
You
Oh,
need
you
to
mean
put the
for
armor
put
on.
down-
It's going to be frustrating.
You
No.
know that he could hold it in his hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll hold it in my hand.
I'm just gonna go back to reading the book.
Otherwise, Sam, how would you fight with it?
Yeah.
Every
It's
minute.
it would still be kind of annoying to put on your armor while, like, holding a sword.
I mean, yeah.
You just need a little bit more help.
Cursed items, man.
Curse those items.
So, who's doing what item next?
I'm doing the boots,
Okay.
After he gets my armor on because he said he'd help me.
which I can do while wearing the boots, because I just have to wear them.
It's true, he can do that.
What if to attune them you need to be running for the entire hour?
And then, screw these boots.
Okay, so you help him get his armor back on. Again, while he was there in his walking around clothes, the clothes that he wears under the armor, you all would have been aware that he had this dim glow of a soft, venomous-looking green and a malevolent purplish beneath his shirt. And they were roughly triangular and near each other on his chest.
Has the pendant come up for any amount of detail for Cyrus?
I don't know that it has. I'm
I
not
think
positive.
it might have sort of got mentioned, like, I have a magic pendant or something, like when I was
Yeah, I
detecting
mean, I
magic,
remember you
but-
interrogated people about their magic items.
Well, I cast, detect magic, and then the whole room lit up.
Yeah.
Really sending me blind.
Yeah. It was wonderful.
So, I
Very
guess I'll ask, what's the, glowy bits there?
Malachi, that question is directed at you.
My brain farted for a second. Please repeat. I apologize.
What's with the, glowing bits on your pendant there?
I mean, you assume it's the pendant. You can
Oh.
only see the glow through his shirt.
I forgot you weren't around when I got these. I already told everyone else in the party. I had visions from Bahamut for my pilgrimage, which you know that I'm on my pilgrimage, and these bits have lit up, which is a sign that I have completed a task before I'm supposed to return to my village. But the world needs saving so that my village has a place to stay.
So, quick question. When did they light up? Since they, like, are there more on there, or is it just those two?
There's
I would hope there's one for every color.
five.
I mean, you could just hold it up and I can describe it for you.
Yeah, I'll hold it up. That's fine.
So he stops you, helping him put the armor on a moment, and pulls it out of his shirt. And he holds up a star-shaped pendant. The body of the pendant seems to be made of a brilliant silver metal, which includes the edges that are the settings for the stones, and the center, which is pentagonal. Each of the arms of the star is a triangular cut stone, magnificently worked, and each one is on its own a different type of stone, a different color. Two of these, however, unlike the other three, are illuminated internally, glowing magically. And this would be the green emerald, which is giving off a dim green light. And I don't mean that it's giving off dim light. It's not going to light an area. It's just enough to see the pendant itself in the dark. It's not going to be a light source, is what I'm trying to say.
Alright, so...
The
kinda like
other...
after you.
The other appears to be some kind of jet, or a... Jet is wood, actually. No, is it stone? Sam, help me. Thinking of ebony. Ebony is wood, jet is stone. So some kind of jet, or onyx, or obsidian. It's a black, colorless stone, and it is glowing. Like you can see just an aura around it. Its edge illuminated in this soft but harsh purple.
I have a question I don't like to be asking. So there's only 5, right?
Yeah.
Is it all the chromatic colors?
There is a black stone, a green emerald, a blue sapphire, a red ruby, and a clear diamond.
So when did these?
One when I was in Arcosia, and the other when I was in.
Thanandir, when you defeated the
Thanandir.
necromancer.
Yeah, Thanandir.
And what all do you know about it? I assume since yours, you know what all it does and what the lights light up for.
Nope. That is the point of my pilgrimage: is to gain the blessing of Bahamut and to do deeds in his name.
Malachi.
Yes. Did I do it wrong?
Your character knows that it is your people's belief that as you go complete this pilgrimage to gain Bahamut's blessing, the points light up, and the goal is to get all 5 lit to know that you are receiving Bahamut's blessing to lead the clans.
Yes, I will state that to Cyrus.
So then others have gotten these to light up before.
Yeah, this has been in my family for generations.
But as you told me, no one had gotten all 5 to light up before.
Yes, correct.
But some had gotten a number. Like the last person at least got like 1 or something.
Yes. Well, they couldn't. If they didn't succeed, they didn't have the right to vie for leadership in clans. They would have, if they came home without lighting one up, they failed their pilgrimage, and we have had successful pilgrimages before.
All right, that sets a little bit of my worry aside.
It's probably not heralding in a dragon apocalypse, right?
You also know he asked you what it does, Malachi, and you do know what it does.
Wait, you mean the ability?
That would fall under the category of what it does, yes.
Well, he's seen me yeah.
He might not know how you were able to do it.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, you do have a magic sword that might be able to assume does those things.
Yeah, well, I'm not keeping any secrets, so yeah, I did. This is my one of the abilities of the pendant that has been passed on. Allows me to apply my breath to my weapon and utilize it in combat.
Interesting.
And I'll after that I'll tuck it back in and have my armor back.
One other question: has it ever been identified?
Identified? You mean like appraised? Identified?
I mean, as in with the spell.
Just do legend lore on it.
I believe my like I know. Oh well, if you're asking for the origins, it's one of the items from
No,
the.
I'm asking specifically: has anyone cast the spell Identify on it?
Probably. I would say yes in my clans, just one night.
Everyone here, including Malachi, is aware that Miyuki Kaze's clan, the Nagarimoshi, they were the spiritual guides of the tribes, and they were very prominently magically capable.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say yes, it has been identified before.
Curious that doesn't give any insight as to how the lighting up of the pendant works.
He explained how that works.
To answer that, I would say following the tenets of Bahamut.
It's a very interesting piece you have there. That is for certain.
Well, it's been in my family for generations upon generations.
I will help finish getting his armor back on and chew my boots.
So you help him put his armor back on. Takes about 8 minutes. You, then finish out the short rest. Any spell slots that Leah can restore, if she'd used any, they're back. People can spend more hit dice if they hadn't spent enough. And
Devil's armor should be back in one piece.
yeah, you'll notice that the room is feeling just a bit humid. Yes, and the epaulet that you knocked off of Jebel's armor vanishes from the ground and reappears on his shoulder. You finish attuning the boots.
And I should be pretty far into that book by now.
Yep. I never got a response from Alex when I asked him a question, but that's okay. 11, so my brain never put it together. Okay, yeah, you're aware that this whole time, while they've been dicking around with Yukikaze's armor and the sword, and he's been telling stories, Leah has been basically ignoring the party, laying in the wagon and reading this book. You recognize the book as one of the ones that came from the Beholder's Trove.
Oh no.
The cover reads, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder."
Of course it would.
There's a little S that's like scratched into the cover after the I.
It's not that dirty.
Are you enjoying your book, Leah?
Oh yeah, it's nice. It's a good book.
That's good. I'm glad that you enjoy reading.
Oh no. I hate this. I hate this so much.
What was going on? Right.
I just have to attune my belt.
First, we have to figure out what curse are on my boots, because I'm willing to bet now that all of these are cursed.
Constant dancing.
That would suck. What about trying to dodge?
Taking the dodge action is an action.
Alright, well, I'm just checking since it says if you're not attacking or preparing an action. Since it's not preparing an action and not attacking.
So the idea was, if your action is unused on your turn,
Gotcha.
it must be used.
Understood.
Okay.
So, once I have finished returning these, you just immediately see me start pacing. So, I can't stop moving.
What fun curses on all of these items?
That's unfortunate, by Cyrus.
Just gonna have to walk around in circles forever.
Wait, can you levitate? Can you just like levitate and just stand in place?
Why do you think I can levitate?
I don't know, your magic? You got magic powers?
You feel invigorated to move.
So, in short, if I'm wearing these, which I can also not attune without, I'm assuming, remove curse, I must always be moving, but I am still able to sleep.
How?
It's just not particularly restful sleep.
I guess? The boots weren't particularly clear on that.
Wait,
I guess I'll find out.
I told you guys. Rock gnomes.
Getting in this.
You only remove curse, actually
Awesome.
remove curses.
So
Awesome.
did everyone put on the belt?
We haven't checked that one yet, because we were doing these one at a time in case they were, dangerous.
Ah, yes.
So we're gonna check it with our very last hour here.
Mine is just awesome.
Also, if I take them off, they go back on my feet after a minute.
Not me moving and during that minute.
That seems to be a pretty consistent thing amongst these items. Interesting.
It's gonna be fun trying to go to the bathroom with those.
I mean, just
river dance.
question. I'm assuming
These items.
sitting and kicking my feet is not enough to constitute active for the sake of this item.
You must constantly be doing a gavotte.
Can you walk on the spot?
What?
Can you walk on the spot?
I mean, I can walk in like 2 spots.
Like march in place?
Yeah, march in place.
I'll give it a try. I would assume no, because that seems to kind of defeat the purpose.
The point? Walking in place? Yeah, you can walk in place.
Okay.
During rest times. But remember that you can use up movement by moving back and forth between 2 squares.
Okay. And that's what I was assuming I was going to have to do.
Yeah. But you can also... One of the benefits of combat in 5th edition is that you can run circles around an enemy. As long as you stay within their attack range, it doesn't trigger an attack of opportunity. But even if it did, you know these boots make you better at avoiding those anyway.
Yeah, it gives them disadvantage. So...
You're also apparently the fastest gnome in history.
I'm not a gnome.
The fastest halfling in history.
There's another part of the curse.
Welcome to gnomehood.
You suddenly feel like you can lick your eyebrows.
No.
Did I forget to mention that? You're very nearly prehensile tongue.
But I liked being...
And you feel like with some practice, you can really get there.
So... Yeah, these are going to be exhausting to wear, but still useful, but I'm absolutely taking these off
with
after
a
we're out of
capital
here.
E or with a lowercase e?
The not affect one.
It's like all these items are going to be like, they'll be useful at certain points, but certainly we shouldn't always be trying to use them.
Yeah, I'm certainly not leaving these on once we leave. I'm contemplating asking to have these removed until, or, stop and let Vindar tune his thing.
I think.
And I guess if we're just going to be resting soon after this, it won't particularly matter. And it could be good to see how this works. I'm going to feed the DM possibly a little here. I really hope these don't make me sleepwalk.
That'd be funny.
Only time will tell. It's a funny story. Apparently, I sleepwalked my ass all the way to the boss. We had a nice conversation.
I was told that we did.
By the boss, he's over there.
He wants to be friends. And by friends, he means he wants you to be mummies for him.
Yeah, that's friendly, right?
Friends.
He wants to make new friends. Sadly, the only time he knows I make are mummies.
So an hour has passed.
Yes, an hour did pass. He's got the boots, and then he explained that. It took him 5 minutes to explain that.
And is Laramenda still counting coins?
Lara Mendes is coming to the end. Lara, you've got 3,000 coins counted out in front of you. You've moved to stacks, or rather rows. You've had to lay them on their side, and they're rows of 100.
Surely
Did
the
either
unseen
of
servant has
the-
finished by this point.
Did either of the two people who were not around when I explained the initial reason for, the money and my plan for late evening / early morning ask about why I'm just sitting down counting out money?
Literally, people have climbed over you without asking what you're doing.
It's like, classic Laramendus.
He's just down there counting coins.
I know you do.
Like, Raiken jostled you as he climbed over you onto the wagon. He managed not to displace any of your coin piles, but he jostled you roughly with his armor as he climbed into the wagon. He never asked you what you were doing.
Cool.
Your unseen servant lasts how long?
10 minutes.
That's how long it lasts?
Or an hour.
I thought it was an hour.
It's an hour.
Okay, so you've had to resummon it. The new unseen servant finishes.
Cool.
You've still got 100 coins left to count out, but that's gonna go quick. You've spent 2 hours counting out coins. The unseen servants have spent collectively 2 hours filing coins into a pile of fine gold dust, which sits on the floor, clear in a spot cleared of sand. And so all that's left that I believe hasn't been tested is the belt of Giant S-.
Belt.
Is that Raiken being like, belt me?
Belt me, Blazer.
Belt me, Blazer. Who's got the belt? Is that still Jebel?
No, I think I handed it over to... Was it Raiken? There was a list of who's getting things.
So I think you have the belt, you just weren't testing it while you were shooting guns, apparently.
Okay, then I will say belt me, Blazer, and I'll just belt myself.
There you go! You just, belt me, Blazer, and you're like, slowly reach into your own bag, pull it out, and put it around your waist. And after a few seconds of just looking, pridefully forward, everybody else awkwardly silent around you, go, thank you.
So while I'm attuning it, I'm going to ask Leo what she finds so funny when she giggles.
Nothing.
Nothing. That doesn't sound like nothing.
It's nothing. Just don't worry about it.
Raiken now feels he has to worry about it, and so he's going to try to take the book away.
Oh, I'm definitely not going to allow that.
I guess,
I'm going to keep crawling into the wagon and try to avoid him getting
He is literally right next to you.
I think we should try to do a Dex versus Dex. As you try to swipe the book from her and she rolls away from you and then starts crawling deeper into the wagon.
Oh, goddamn, I'm not going to be able to get it.
Well, I too rolled very bad, so we'll see.
Alright, Raiken, what was your roll?
Oh, I got an 8.
What'd you get, Raiken?
Got a 6.
Oh, you got a 6. Okay, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
All right, so she rolls to the side as you try to swipe the book from her, and then crawls away to that square, heading for the back of the wagon. You may roll again if you're going to continue trying to take it from her.
This is an extremely clumsy and unimpressive chase.
It really is.
Right,
You're both
yeah,
just
try to take it again.
you're struggling to move your clothed bodies on the shag carpet that Raiken had this thing outfitted with.
Sucks. I got a 9.
Okay, what'd you get, Leah?
Another dex.
Yep.
9.
A 9. So as you crawl away toward the front of the cart, he manages to lean back and grab your ankle, stopping you from getting away.
I start to scream and kick.
Was he in the tongue?
There is definitely something untoward going on in that wagon.
Show me the book, Leah.
No!
Raiken will pull her back towards him so he can try to get the book again.
Good God. Okay, at this point we're in grapple, so, Leah, you may roll athletics or acrobatics to try and escape his hold. Raiken, you must roll athletics.
Is this really
Acrobatic it is.
necessary, Raiken?
Why do you know what she's reading? I got a 15.
One more time.
Got a 15.
A 15, and
Damn
Leah...
it, I got a 13.
So he continues to hold you, and now he's trying to take the book from your hand.
Yeah.
He's just, like, sitting cross-legged, and he's basically just, like, pulled you. He's, like, holding your legs with his legs down, and he's just, like, reaching with his other hand, trying to pry the book out of your hands.
Yeah, I'm going to fight back.
I mean, you can attack instead of trying to escape him if you want.
No, I'm not going to go that far. I'm going to, like, try to hold tight on the book.
Okay. Opposed strength, then.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to lose that one.
Probably. But who
From that
knows?
bit, you'll just see Cyrus passing the back of the wagon roughly every 15 seconds as I'm just walking loops around the cart.
Well, that's interesting.
I got 8.
Oh shit, I kicked over the pile of gold dust. I hope that wasn't important. I'm gonna pet the tiger because it
18.
can't catch me now. You got an 18. What'd you get, Leah?
12.
So he manages to pry the book out of your hand after this long chase and wrestle. He manages to pry the book out of your hand without damaging it. You open it to approximately the part of the book that she was reading.
This one? I don't know which one it is. I think it might. I don't know. It's like smaller one.
Hey Mal, your mic's on.
Also, put some stuff in front of the door.
Mal?
He fixed it.
Okay. In any event, so he manages to pry the book away from Leah as she screams and protests and tries to hold tightly onto the book. You get the book away from her, Raiken. You manage to open it to approximately where she was. I'm gonna send you what's there.
Oh god.
Are you giving him, like... what that page says?
Oh yeah, it's a quote. There you go.
Could you copy paste that to me, considering Leah has also read that?
Oh, Cord! Oh my Cord! Yeah, you cannot read this anymore.
Why not? It's good.
No, it's not. It's so dirty.
She can prestidigitate it.
You're not old enough for this.
Of course I am.
You're not. You're still a
Yeah,
little kid.
So, I've read it this far.
Hey, get in here. I want
Let's
to
wait a couple more years.
Gonna
come on, please.
try to reach for the
I
book.
need to know how it ends.
Either that, or I have to
I think
black
it
out
ends in a
all
climax.
of.
But those are the good ones. I mean, you're not wrong, but
Is Raiken gonna let me take the book?
You are close enough to hand it to Vendar, who seems to be interested in it. Are you going to?
don't give it to him.
Oh,
That's what it says.
I'm holding on to the book.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on, please, pretty please. Yeah, can you copy paste that text to me though, Tristan? Because I mean,
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, my stuff just crapped out on me. Did anybody hear me say I'm holding on to the book and not showing Bednar?
We only heard you say you're holding on to the book.
Okay. Yeah, no, Raiken is like completely embarrassed at this point.
That's what I sent him.
okay, gotcha.
Raiken doesn't want to even think about Leah reading this kind of stuff.
I'd read quite a lot already. I'd read like a third of it. Is that what you said?
Well, it's a
Oh,
good
no,
stop.
you were about halfway through.
Oh. It's just getting interesting.
No kidding, it's just getting interesting. Interesting.
It looks great.
Wait until your next birthday.
Really?
Yes.
So I can have it back on my next birthday?
Yes.
Okay.
Fine, you win. So she stops struggling against you. You can release her, and she probably won't try to take the book from you.
Raiken will release her. This bag.
Hermendus looks up at Raiken, considering, and then goes back to counting coins.
Oh no, but here's the great thing. Raiken, when he puts the book in his bag, he sees the present that he got Leah, and then remembers, and he's just like, fuck.
Too late now.
Raiken doing the mental math. Wait. God damn it, she got me again.
Just can't outsmart her.
Oh, goodness. Alright, so. The hour completes. The short rest is had. Raiken is attuned to the item.
What's Belt gonna give me?
Herpes.
Negative strength, because it's the S minus.
Well, it's too bad, because I can't get a disease. Sorry, Tristan.
That makes it even worse.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to click. Actually, it is also what I wanted to click.
Super herpes.
Ultra herpes. Alright. Raiken.
Someone joined just too late to notice the juicy bits.
Yep.
All the fun part.
As a matter of fact, don't we normally wrap up in about like 15 minutes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Then I'm gonna have to
There
go,
you
like,
go,
immediately.
Raiken.
Okay.
Because I will have like 3 hours rest.
3 hours is a good number.
Yeah.
A lot.
Be a very busy Wednesday. And I have to go to a meeting at 9 a.m. which
Is that just
far
today,
away.
or is that every Wednesday?
No, it's just today. But it can happen all the Wednesdays. We have to get up early. But what's special about tomorrow is that it's just that meeting, which won't take that long, and then I'm going to try rest a little again because I have to go to Oslo because I'm going to a Tenacious D concert, which is a positive thing.
I see.
Right, it's the fucking D, man. It's the best band in the world.
Okay.
Oh, God damn it.
There you
So
go.
what's the belt of S minus do?
Well, I get stronger.
I told you that.
Your strength is ridiculous.
It can't be unattuned.
And
Is removed or reappear on me within 1 minute.
and
I don't know if I want to say this last part.
you don't have to. That's the important part.
Yeah, we need to know.
If we come across any giants, I'm going to be very attractive to them.
What?
I wonder if that extends to half trans, because we've run into a fair amount of them.
I don't want to find out.
We want to find out. Never take that belt off.
Also, didn't he already basically have that effect on one of the half giants earlier?
No, that was a. Oh wait. Yeah, it was a. Yeah, it was Fist.
No, that
It
was
was
merely
so much
his
stronger
raw
than-
draconic magnetism. This will now be enhanced.
Cannot wait to see it.
Definitely go back
Seems
and
like an
check.
acceptable curse.
Definitely go back and hang out with Fist.
Never ever waste a remove curse spell on that. That stays on you until the end of time.
Oh, please no.
Oh my god.
These guys are the best.
I mean, it do kind of remind me of the book.
What?
Nothing.
Did I notice which book it was that she was reading? Because I did look through the Beholder books.
Repeat the question about the Beholder books. You looked through them?
Did I had to determine if there was any use in them.
Yeah.
So, like, I know that that's the book that she's reading.
I mean, if you see the title of it, you remember what the content was, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, its question was, did he see the title?
I think Raiken's been making enough of a fuss about it that I probably saw.
I
Okay.
think from the context, you know that that must be which book it was.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah. But I don't imagine that you took the time to turn around and try to see the title because you were busy doing this other thing.
Yeah.
But it's been pretty clear from their conversation.
Cool.
So,
Tristan, is it this Belt of Giants, just this D&D Beyond? Is that what it is?
yeah,
No.
if you refresh your page, I added it to your sheet.
Oh, okay.
How are you gonna add it again?
I was going to add it.
Yeah.
I didn't
No,
know you guys had it.
I'm sorry. I thought I said it out loud. I guess I told the seatbelt again. Refresh your page.
I assume the same is true for me in the boots.
Totally.
Totally.
Hold on.
Busted.
Your name
So
is
busted.
Cyrus, right?
Oh my god, look at my strength.
Yeah, your strength is a little bit ridiculous.
Is it 22?
No, it's not that ridiculous.
Is it 18?
It's more ridiculous than that.
Is it 20?
Said it's 19.
So then it's basically 18.
Yeah.
But I took a feat that raised my strength up before.
There you go. Luckily, I created these the other
And
week,
beautiful.
and I've been testing all of my items on my Firewalker character, Sam, so that I could make sure all of the numbers actually worked out the way they were supposed to.
That's fair.
So, there they are. There they are. Okay.
Yep.
You get the feeling that those boots were made for walking.
Boots of the Firewalker, the Belt of Giants, the Bleeder, or the Chigaipai, and the Cloak of Smoke, and the Deteriorating Armor.
One fun thing about that I mentioned there, Sam. Last time I was at Hard Rock Cafe, I was actually sitting under the boots of Nancy Sinatra. We had a lot of jokes about that.
You're gonna get done with your meal and then they're gonna walk all over you. Alright, so, it is worth noting that you found 5 magical items in the Vault of Garland, and all 5 of them were cursed.
Yeah.
Sense of theme.
Yeah.
That's an impressive hit rate.
Rock them tricksters.
Garl Glittergold be praised.
Yeah, they're the best.
It might also have something
All
to
those
do
little guys.
with the Lich, but that
Yeah.
the curses seem
They seem very
generally harmless
logical.
enough that I would not put it past them trying to appease their god.
If I find out that they purposely cursed these items, I'm gonna be a little upset.
I'm thinking that's probably what happened.
Help if I wasn't muted.
You've been muted the whole time since you were talking with your roommate.
No, go ahead. Continue what you're saying.
Does Jebel have any input on this since he's a gnome?
I don't like rock now.
Rock gnomes. Tried to tell you.
Tried to tell you. You stupid fuck.
I warned you.
My kind of people. I like them.
You see, you guys are jogging across the room, set the sword down next to the wall, jog back to the inside.
You guys are just enjoying this it poofs back onto my body thing.
Are we sure that the range of that is
Or can you get in a minute?
Experiments are in order then. I get to the farthest corner that I could possibly get.
So you do that, and I'm like, I was thinking a little bit farther.
How far can you teleport?
I huck the sword on top of this statue, and then teleport myself to another dimension.
I mean, I had been thinking about if I carry it along with everything else through the portal.
Leave it there. What will happen? Will it go all the way across the continent?
I don't want to test that. That sounds
Well,
like
that's
a
no
much
fun.
What if
We
it
could
doesn't?
test it with Devil's Armor.
I will make a comment out of character that I don't think the two of you who were testing your guns heard the teleportation thing.
They didn't.
Right.
So like, that might be something you
Ignore
want to
my
ask
comment.
about, or not. I don't care.
Had you not mentioned that you were planning to do that before we had left?
Yeah, before we got to the cart.
I don't know when.
Didn't we talk about before we even originally went to the...
So it was discussed in committee, which is how you came up with the items you needed for these different spells.
Yeah.
So they did know that you planned to do that.
Yeah, they just didn't know that
that it had been done.
Yeah, never mind.
They just didn't know it had been done, and they might not be aware of the cost. That's what you're doing, is counting out the cost.
Yeah.
How much money at this point? Spend it. Why else have it? If you're not going to let me buy a griffin with it.
I seem to remember a time you could have bought a griffin without the party being able to do anything about it.
I could have, but it didn't seem like a good idea.
It's because it wasn't.
Then quit complaining about it.
It's so bad, man. You know how awesome it would be to be a griffin rider?
Not gonna happen.
I do have a question for Vendor. Does Vendor know how long it takes a griffin to grow up?
Well, that's why I thought it would be a bad idea.
Okay. I didn't know why you thought it was a bad idea. There's a whole list of reasons it could be a bad idea.
More than one reason why I thought it would be a bad idea. That's one of the most prominent ones. That it would take a while, and that it would not be an easy time trying to do that with doing what we're doing.
It would not be an easy time trying to do that, period.
And as much as I want a griffin, I'm not great with animals.
I mean, no one is. That's how 5th edition works.
Yeah.
Maybe the druid.
Come on, animal
I'm
friendship.
not good with animals.
If I wanted to, I could be really good with animals. I could have chosen an expertise in animal handling, but I don't know why the fuck I would do that.
Exactly.
So at this point, it is time to begin the long rest. I guess the question becomes, where are people going to sleep? Is everybody just going to crowd into the cart, which you can do. I've told you that it has enough room for basically everybody minus one. And who's the one? Are they on watch? Is there a watch?
There should probably be a watch.
Yukikaza's okay watching because he's gonna check out his sword while the rest of...
I don't have dark vision and I have terrible perception. I will leave it to someone else.
Yukikaze might want to sleep
That is true.
because he's joining me in what would be like the last watch.
Oh,
To go and do not watchy things.
fair point.
Vendor will take first watch.
Fair point, Larmendus. I will sleep first then.
We were going to discuss tactics before the rest, because one of the things Jebba would mention is picking spells that complement each other.
Okay.
So is everyone present?
Yeah, everyone's present. Like, pretty much everybody crowded into the wagon, which is large enough for you all to sleep on the various benches and floor. With the exception of one, of course, but you've got the person who meditates and does not actually sleep, so it makes sense that he doesn't need to be in there.
I also wanted to make a recommendation. You know that cloak? Maybe you could find something that acts like a gas mask, so you can wear the cloak and not poison yourself.
It'd be
It's
nice,
a gas mask.
except that it would still poison anybody else in the room.
Well,
You guys would
that's
be in the
just
room.
being
It doesn't
smart.
poison me while I'm like in it. It would only poison me if the room filled with smoke.
Oh, okay. I didn't know the extent of it. Well, maybe we could all get gas masks.
What's a gas mask?
get gas
Seriously, what are you talking about?
Like the thingy you cover your face with, like doctors use.
What's a doctor?
Fine, a healer. Okay, I'm using the wrong words for this. Sorry. I'm tired.
Like a
A
face
healer.
mask to try to filter out the smoke.
It would make sense to have doctors in a world like this.
Well, they'd be called healers. They wouldn't be called doctors, probably.
I mean,
Well,
one translation
I
convention.
imagine most of them are
Yeah.
magic
Two.
healers.
Like, why wouldn't there be medical professionals?
Like, I don't know as much of a, it's not so much the whole duck thing, but I doubt they'd be wearing, like, surgeon masks like you're thinking.
Oh, yeah, it's been around for. Well, you ever see the plague doctors?
Yeah, they have like
That
these-
wasn't Malachi. That wasn't to protect them from disease. Those masks
was-
held flowers so that it killed the smell. That was the
Yeah.
only thing
Just
that
the
did.
smell. I
Just
thought
it was
they had
so it
other
wasn't
stuff to protect them.
when those plague doctors existed. Germ theory hadn't been invented yet. No one knew
Oh.
about it. Germ theory wasn't until the early 1900s, the late 1800s, I think, was when people actually started washing their hands. That's pretty.
Everyone thought that dude was a loon.
Yeah, no,
Oh, doctors hated washing their
I
hands.
didn't.
they really did.
I don't know where I
Doctors
got
did not
that
like the idea that they were
information
spreading
from, but-
disease.
They
I
had
thought
no
that-
idea that they were spreading disease. They were sitting there scratching their heads, wondering why all the people who were being kept in the same ward were dying of the same diseases. And they're like,
no,
well,
I mean when germ theory actually came about, doctors really didn't like the
You cut out
concept
there
of it
for a
because they
second.
didn't like the idea that they themselves were spreading diseases among their different patients. They felt
I could
really
buy into that,
insulting.
yeah.
Like,
But-
and telling them that they had to wash their hands, they're like, I don't need to wash my hands. I'm
But
not making my
But
patients sick.
still, the study of medicine and then the concept of doctors comes from all back to Greek times.
Yeah. So the short answer for you guys, because it's my world, is yes, there are healers, people who know more about medicine, solves potions, and how to treat wounds than others. There are people who are trained in that. They are healers, they are doctors, they are medicine men, medicine women. They exist. They are, and there are a lot of them. There are a good number. Every town has a bunch of people who at least have some understanding of how to, wrap a wound and set a bone. But the more advanced stuff, like fixing larger problems, generally isn't well understood, because at that point, that's when they call a cleric from another city and say, hey, we need you to use magic, because we don't understand why this person is dying.
Okay. Alright, never mind then.
So gas
Strike
mask
that from the
coming out of
record.
school. Forget what we said.
And all the
Start
big
from the
cities,
record.
you guys have pretty much, so you have had the luxury of pretty much only traveling through big cities since Yukikaze joined, because you went pretty much straight from the seat of Bahamut, which was empty, devoid of people, to Volinar, which is one of the largest capitals in the western side of the world, teleported to Everwatch, which is the largest capital in the western side of the world. Then the only small town you've been to since then, well, you went through like 4 of them. Braithen, East Fair, all those were like little tiny towns, and you know that they didn't have any magic. But all the big cities you went to, the capital of Shirakawa, and then Tsuka, all had multiple temples, each with at least one cleric, and clerics are capable of healing. And so you know that the cities have, like, massive access to healing magic.
Okay. So, so we'll just strike that for what I said, and I'll just make the comment that I bet you guys are glad I got this furnished. And I'm gonna go to sleep.
It has made for quite the nice bed. At least for someone
we're-
my size.
Still discussing tactics.
Yeah,
Okay.
the tactics thing was something that we were.
So, yeah, tactics.
You guys just conks out. Well done.
I have no real information about how to fight these things. So the only thing I might have any input on is how we want to approach the barrier, like which entrance we want to use.
Ash and Syl had a conversation, and if I don't know if Cyrus was present for it, but from what I understand, we did learn, if not their weaknesses, but we learned some of their strengths and some of the things that
We learned that
not
we need to
weak.
kill their item that lets them basically respawn.
Yeah, but I think we learned that they. Did we learn that they shrug off mundane damage? And
Yes. So I probably should have pinned it. Apologies, but there is a conversation in the chat, which Ash and Syl partook in, which allowed you to know. Scroll back here, but it basically told you that all of the information, part of it came from Nalia, was that people who had fought them and anything that was recorded about it, which this information was all taken from like the last 1,000 years, it indicated that non-magical damage was basically useless against them. That they were definitely resistant to it. I shouldn't saying basically use it makes it sound like immunity, but they were resistant to it at least, and you know that they had resistances against cold and necrotic, poison, okay, here we go.
Was it just resistant to poison?
It was not made clear if it was a resistance or an immunity, but the line I had used when I explained it was they share their resistances and immunities with the zombies they create. So if the mummies you've been fighting are immune to poison, then that lich will be immune to poison.
Then what are the chances it's vulnerable to fire?
Okay.
It's possible.
If that's the case,
Be
there'll be a lot of
not
fireballs being dropped.
But if they're not vulnerable, at least fire hurts them. They're doing a lot of fire damage. And I'm going to point at Vindar and say, and you have that silence string for your bow?
Yeah, I put it on this crossbow. This hand crossbow so that I can use it and then still have my magic bow without having to...
Did you pick up bolts for it?
He said he put it on a crossbow.
Yeah, but did you pick up bolts for the crossbow?
Oh, bolts, sorry, I heard bow.
Don't we have bolts?
I mean, I have like my 20.
Can I have bolts in the bag of holding?
That's a question for Guaco. Or Leah.
There's there's like 182 arrows.
No.
Was it not bolts?
No,
Okay.
I don't see. Wait,
So
there's some. Yeah, there's 19 bolts. Are there more than that? Yeah,
sounds like we need to make one more trip to the armory.
Oh, there, crossbow
one
bolts. 45. Yeah, there's like 50 something bolts, but they're not in the bag of holding at the moment. They're in the chest.
Because
Alright, well, we got bolts. I don't expect to need a shitload of them.
no.
So.
Well,
some of my spells, and I turn to Cyrus. Can you cast Wall of Fire?
yes.
Yeah, me too. The only thing is that it's a static wall; it doesn't move.
Yes, the wall
So-
stack. The other problem is it's also concentration.
Grab all the grenades, right?
Fire grenades, anyway.
So here's one strategy we could do. Since I have the ability to expend a bit more magic to cast my spells more quickly, I could use the silent string on my crossbow. That way, Vindar here can still hit as hard as he can, while someone's still attempting to silence them. And I can still shoot my fireballs.
And we might have to... Whoever's physically engaging with it might, if we do cast Wall of Fire, whoever's in melee range might have to try and keep this thing in range of the wall, so because it will continuously take damage if it's close enough.
I mean, you could try casting Wall of Flame, and I could try casting Wall of Stone around it. And then we'd have to beat through a solid wall of stone to get out.
That's an idea.
Only problem is mechanically, they get a save to dodge to the outside of the wall when I do that.
Well, I could cast Wall of Fire around it, and then you could cast Wall of Stone around the Wall of Fire.
Yes, that's what I was suggesting.
So why would they dodge out of the way of a wall that would be like 10 feet
Because the
from them?
mechanic for Wall of Stone says if the wall is going to enclose a creature, it gets a saving throw to get out.
Ah.
So, yeah.
So, the question had been asked, what do we know? So just to refamiliarize you guys. It was, can we say that the Syl and Ash shared their knowledge of liches occurs between sessions? I said, sure. Did we learn anything new about liches, weaknesses, strengths, that sort of thing? I told you. You learned they can only be destroyed if a personal magic item of theirs is located and destroyed as well. That is the source of their immortality. They may carry it with them, but they don't have to. Ash and Still between them offer up useful information. Nalia said it was not clear that the item needed to be nearby, but her information comes from documentation on the deaths of maybe 3 liches over the last 1,000 years. As for Ash and Syl casually mentions she has been tapping her network of spirits and elementals to try and get information for you. She tells you that the creation of a lich always seems to be preceded by some cataclysmic event, some destruction of the natural order in an area. She says some liches then immediately fall off the radar, like this one, while others actively ravage the area they inhabit. Ash offers that this is likely the difference between a lich of Vecna and a lich of Orcus. She tells you that they share all of the resistances and immunities of the undead they create, called necrotic poison, but also that the ones of Orcus, who are challenged often during their reign, appear to be immune to mundane weapons. Terrifying, but druids have spells. She offers that among her contacts it's possible that as many as 20 liches may have haunted Amaranta over the last 300 years, but she admits these could be overlapping accounts, especially if the creatures moved about. Ash reminds the scholar that a lich is made from a high-level arcanist and therefore may specialize a particular school of magic, but with such longevity, their spell list can effectively be considered exhaustive. He warns that this lich may be old or studied enough to know Forgotten, Forbidden, or capital O, Old Magic.
Don't group up.
I do think my most useful role in things will be to attempt to prevent the creature from casting as much magic as possible.
Probably correct.
Further, both Ash and Syl confirm constant and measurable deaths around a lich is typical. Information taken from folklore about what is called lingering wizards. They are either attracted to death or incapable of escaping it, one following the other for eternity, is a direct quote from folklore. I provided that for Laramendus.
So, do we think it would be worth checking the other rooms before the barrier, the veil, whatever you want to call it, to see if that's where the Lich's item might be?
I feel that it's safe to assume if it's anywhere nearby, it would be more within the creature's sphere of influence.
There was at least one more piece of information from Syl. There weren't any known true weaknesses to these things. They seem unnaturally resistant, and fire and holy damage only seem to piss them off.
So, fire bad.
And also,
Fire.
how would we come to destroy these objects?
One more time there, Grocko.
How would we destroy the objects? Do they let us know that?
You need to find and destroy a magical
No,
object.
like in character.
No, in character they said you need to find and destroy a magical object.
Yeah. So I mean, what I said is in character.
Sorry.
Like
How do you
Ilya is
destroy the
asking.
object?
Yeah, Ilya is actively asking how do you destroy them.
It depends what the magic on the object might be. Some kinds of magic might just enhance physical properties of something, and so it would take more to destroy it than it normally would have, but it's not necessarily requiring magic to destroy. But other kinds of
No.
magic.
Could we
How to
use
destroy it
dispel
until
magic?
we get it?
We could certainly try casting dispel magic on it if we find it, but I'm unsure of what the end result of that would be. What was it that you said, Vendar?
Ultimately, we won't know how to destroy it until we find it. Find it, we can identify it, and then we can figure out how to destroy it, but we won't know until we do.
If I were attempting to hide a magical object of great importance to me, I would also probably have cast Nistral's magic aura on it so that it did not appear magic, which will make finding the thing harder.
Or that alarm
Look,
thing
buddy.
you do that let you know that if someone finds it.
There would also be other wards nearby, but the object itself... Actually, I would have quiet wards around the object and louder wards around another object. Also having Nistral's magic aura cast upon it, so that people thought that they found the real thing and it was hidden well enough when it was not actually.
So we're gonna assume that this wizard had the same idea that you and just do what you would have. Does that sound like a good plan?
I do not know what was going through their mind, or what types of magic they have a particular fondness for. As an
Yeah, but
abjuration
you're-
wizard, wards are in my particular area of interest.
Well,
the
but
person in
you
the
are
to go by, so
you are a wizard, Iom? right?
That is
Many-
correct, scholar.
At this point, yes.
And I almost like the god of truth.
Knowledge.
Though
Okay,
she does
and-
despise lies and secrets.
Well, this one is like a lich of the god of lies.
Yes.
These two oppose each other, so is it possible she would like use like the opposites or think of the opposites than you?
Can you become an anti-lich?
Is it possible that the Lich would not actually attempt to hide their
That
object under multiple layers of obfuscation?
I don't mean necessarily that, but I'm just trying to think of how we would approach this thing, like how we would, like how we should plan this out.
I
Say-
think I see what you're getting at. From my understanding, you're saying not to think like a wizard of Ione, but a wizard of Vecna.
Yeah, yeah. Like if she's if she's like a wizard of lies, then what would a wizard of lies do?
More than 2 layers of obfuscation? You have the one object that isn't hidden by the aura with... Actually 4. You have 4 objects, 2 of which are not hidden by Nystril's magic aura, 2 of which are. One of each has quiet wards, and one of each has still reasonably quiet, but slightly more immediately deadly wards scattered about. No good way to know which one's which. Suppose that would be convoluted enough and everything hidden.
Well, if I was like a wizard of lies, I would try to fool people into going into my tricks somehow.
Well,
Like illusions.
it's more specifically secrets rather than lies. So possibly just trying to keep it hidden outright might be more in line.
I would think her how she intends to hide it would probably be more in line with whatever school of magic was her particular area of interest than the fact that she is hiding it and serves Vecna.
Suppose we could find
If
one
an
against
enchanter,
Raiken.
if an enchanter wanted to hide something, they might be more likely to put mind affecting wards to turn people away, think that they're seeing other things, charm them in some way. An illusionist would have a wonderful set of illusions that might get someone to walk into a room that has no floor, might get people to think that there is a wall that's there protecting something that isn't. An evoker would probably just blow something up.
So how soon do you think you would figure out what school she has? Like I experienced in
She is
looking for
old enough
clues.
that she has access to most magics that could be feasibly cast. However, in designing a trap, I feel like a little bit of one's personality comes through in that. But
Okay, so once we
without
find that
seeing
trap,
some
you
of these
can-
traps, I'm not sure that we could. There was the magical trap on the door which opened up the portal, which seemed to banish, which is abjuration. but I'm not sure if that was put in place by the original tenants or by the Lich.
Well, I would assume anything behind the veil would be made by the Lich, yes?
Perhaps. One side note
More likely.
worth possibly mentioning. Doesn't as much to do with strategy, but what do we think the chances are of possibly being able to recover their spell book?
Will they have that on them?
Yes, but ideally we're going to kill them, and thus it being on them won't exactly be a problem.
Okay, so what is the order of things there? Do we destroy the object first or after?
After, right? We kill it, then we gotta find the object and destroy it before it respawns.
How long does it take them to?
Could be instantaneous, could be days, weeks. I don't believe we know. My guess would probably be at least a day.
I believe that
instantaneous.
it was, at least, it seemed to be not instantaneous, but other than that,
So at least
indeterminate.
the rest, based on how magic works.
Yeah, that once we kill it, find the object as quick as possible and try to destroy it.
Yeah, that seems an idea.
Okay, so then we should try to
we would
figure out
have-
how.
Leah, keep
Yeah,
going.
we should try to figure out like what she likes to do and like how she work. So we should be observant while fighting her.
There may be
shall talk.
contingency spells in place.
I don't want a load-bearing boss.
Not necessarily load bearing. I mean more about other wards being activated and things of that nature, other traps being activated around the object.
True. So one bit of strategy we should still discuss is what entrance we want to use. Because I'm still going for the one where we know where we know where the traps are, and I can use my magic now to go and make a safe way across them. Because I would expect every entrance is trapped in some way.
You had been intending to cast Wall of Stone a few inches above the floor in the room with the mechanical.
Yep.
String launcher things.
Yeah.
Launcher.
That seems as reasonable as any, I suppose.
I'm fine with that.
Now all this discussion is part of the long rest. I am curious if you're going to be creating the tiny hut.
I mean, I suppose I can, but it'll drop when I go to leave with Yukikaze.
Which, as you've planned out, is only like a half hour before the rest is over anyway.
Yeah, this seems a reasonable enough place for the tiny hut.
Okay.
So if we want to take the spring approach, I could turn myself invisible and just go do that. But going by myself does
You
not
should
seem
not
like
be
the
alone.
best idea. Yes.
Can you turn other people invisible too?
I
Not
can.
for long enough.
Well, I can't turn me invisible for long enough either, because the only version I have is greater invisibility, which lasts for a minute, unlike regular invisibility, which lasts for an
And
hour.
also, both Greater Invisibility and Wall of Stone are concentration spells.
Right. Which means regardless, it's only on the way in, not the way back, which is why I need someone to come with me. How about you, Vindor? You're nice and sneaky.
Do we really need to do it right now, or wouldn't that mean you have to concentrate it the entire long rest?
No, just have to concentrate for 10 minutes. And then it's permanent.
Which is
right,
an acceptable
like we
amount of
did before.
spellcasting. In a
All right.
moment.
Yeah, okay, I'll come with you.
And besides, I think now you're the only one that can keep up.
I mean, yeah. True. So, you're leaving the tiny hut.
Correct.
Okay. You head down the stairs and into this room. Most notably, all the bodies in this room are gone.
All right.
Oh god.
Were they there when me and Raiken walked through?
2 hours ago? Yeah.
It's a new recent thing that wasn't there even just 2 hours ago. So
then we can expect enemies. So I suggest we settle on a route and I cast it now and we just hurry to the door where I need to cast the spell. You settle on the route now since we can't exactly follow each other when invisible.
all right.
And move quickly because it will not last long.
So, you settle on a route. What route are you settling on? Do you remember how to get to the door?
You go to the right, first door on the left, second door on the left, through that room, go up, first hallway on the right, first door on the left.
Alright, you can go that way.
I will trust Cyrus. I will follow his directions.
And so I will twin cast Greater Invisibility because the only way to actually make it affect 2 people. Also, it's cheaper than if it could be cast higher level anyways.
Alright, you head into the hallway to the right, which does not have the entire team inside it.
That's it.
You
back
twin
before
cast
we were
Greater
using
Invisibility, you said?
Correct.
Alright, you have 1 minute.
And then I'll break down my first whole spell slots to refresh the points I just spent twinning it.
Okay, we can start it in here. You heard the directions there, Vendar. I'll let you go first. How far can you move?
30 normally, but I can dash as a bonus action, so I can go 60.
Okay. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That gets you to that door. Cyrus, you move.
From my understanding, even when invisible, we still need to stealth, so just 45 and sneak.
Well, okay.
10, 20, 30, 40, 5.
Don't you have to move half speed to stealth without disadvantage?
No. It doesn't say that, at least.
I think it does.
Whatever.
Like, there's some implications for that for, like, when traveling long distances, but not anything for, like, in combat.
I think it does. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see. DM decides when circumstances are appropriate for hiding. When you try to hide, make a dexterity stealth check. Until you are discovered or you stop hiding, that check's total is contested by the wisdom check of any creature that actively searches for signs of your presence. You can't hide from a creature that can see you clearly, and you give away your position if you make noise. An invisible creature can always try to hide. Signs of its passage might still be noticed. In combat, most creatures stay alert, so if you come out of hiding and approach a creature, it usually sees you. However, under certain circumstances, the DM might allow you to stay hidden as you approach the creature that is distracted, allowing you to gain advantage on attack rolls before you are seen. Passive perception. When you hide, there's a chance someone will notice you, even if they aren't searching. To determine whether such a creature notices you, compare a dexterity stealth check. Passive wisdom. La-di-da-di-da. For disadvantage, subtract 5. La-di-da-di-da. Proficiency and perception. Main factors. Lightly and heavily obscured, because that's a stupid ruling. All it says there.
I wonder, is it possible for me to just cut it now? Or for me just to go to bed and let you guys finish up?
Yep.
I'm very tired and I need to get up very early, so...
Yep. Have a good night.
Night, sir.
Night,
Just
Marco.
write on whatever XP and chat and I'll see it.
Okay.
Night.
Night-night.
I'm wavering quite a bit too.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it seems no, because the hide action is just an action to take. You make a stealth check. That's what they're doing. They're just taking the hide action. So yeah, that's him. I think that it is just over the long distances.
At a 32 stealth, 32.
Right. What did I get? And I got a 22.
Yep. Everything I'm finding agrees with that.
I make no noise. I am undetectable. Unless you have blind sense.
Indeed.
Then you can see me.
Alright, so, are you taking this door on your left there, Vendar?
Oh god damn it, what were the directions?
He can't tell you now, you're stealthing and you don't know where he is because he's invisible.
Fuck. I should have paid attention more when you said them.
Should have done.
Forgotten now.
Alright, so the question is, are you going to take this door or are you going to keep moving to the next door?
It's the first door.
Okay.
I'm gonna take that door.
Alright, you move through this door. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. And, that brings us to Cyrus' turn. Cyrus, what are you doing? You saw this door open. Yeah, you saw that door open.
Like, good, he's following the directions.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30.
The chance the directions are wrong, but these are the directions I gave.
Okay. So
I
that
have
takes
completely forgotten them.
into this room.
I don't know that.
And again, this is empty. Empty.
I think so. Yeah, we're pretty much good for tonight.
Yeah, go to bed, man.
Good night.
Fill me in on EXP and stuff later.
Will do.
Night, Malachi.
I'm gonna head as well.
Night,
Okay.
Thomas.
So, right, night. I'd stay alive.
So if we now head slowly after our deaths alone.
I mean, it all makes even more sense this way because only you two know what's going on anyway, so that it's going to be a surprise for the rest of everybody when they come back next week.
And we're dead.
If you want me to head off, I can.
I'm not requiring it.
I think you
Well-
said it was the second door on the left.
I can't tell you. That's my understanding, at least.
So,
This is the second
5,
door on the left.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Open. 55. 60. Are you closing doors behind you?
No.
Okay. You come in. Are you closing doors behind you?
No, because closing a door can be kind of noisy.
Okay. So you make it here with your 45.
I figure if I'm going the wrong way, at least he'll know I'm going the wrong way and be able to follow me.
Okay. So, that takes us second door into this room. All of this is gone. All of this is gone.
I remember independently where it is now, so I think I'm all right.
Okay. Poof. You are here now. Alright. So, that makes it Vendar's turn again. 60 again?
Yep, I'll go up towards the next door.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Cyrus,
have
you
the
can see
tokens
this
reversed.
door is open, so it seems a safe assumption that he went this way.
Alright. And I'll keep following that way, but you also have the tokens reversed.
Yes, I do. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45.
And that's our third move, if I recall, so we still have 7 left.
I do keep track of that because I forgot to start keeping track of that.
Yep. I have a little counter on my roll 20 sheet.
Cool. So, another 60 for you, Vendor.
Go out that door.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 3 squares out in the hallway. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay. That puts you in this area, which does not have the whole group here. Alright, so you see this long hallway that turns to the right and left and ends in this purple shroud, this purple mist, this purple wall of swirling energy.
The hallway towards the wall.
15.
Dang it, we forgot to take the walkie-talkies again.
You're so dumb.
Yep.
No, wait, it is your turn first. Alright, you're gonna head northward? You're not taking any of these doors?
Nope. I'm going towards the hallway and
Okay.
towards the mist, the purple mist.
45, 50, 55, 60. So, you're just passing these doors right by, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Have treasure in them.
5,
Already
10,
been in.
15.
Treasure.
25, 30, 35, 40, 45.
You can always double check.
Look for treasure.
I gotta admit, I'm kind of impressed with my memory so far.
I mean, I think you took the long way. But
I might have, but this is a way that's gotten us through here with 0 traps. Because we could have taken the door at the end of the hallway, but that could open a void underneath our feet, because we never disabled that.
And if it's closed again, yeah.
I wanted you to take that door.
Me too.
I wanted to see somebody
I
for
really
like
dropped
get.
you right in that pit. Because I would have been right in front of you, and then it would have opened it behind me.
Alright. Whoops, wrong thing. Alright, Vendar. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. You can see this junction of hallways ahead of you. Are you going to...
I'm going to take a right.
You're going to go to the right, not the left?
To the right.
Okay, to the right.
To the right.
40, 45, 50, 55, 60. All of these are gone.
Oh, thank goodness. I don't have enough fireballs left to spare.
Yeah, but this is a door. And, whoops, stop that. All these doors are closed. So that's as far as you get. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. That's as far as you get. Alright, Vendar. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 60. Gets you there. Now you've got all these doors ahead of you. 6 of them. Which one are you heading toward?
On the left. I'm going to open that one, and I'm not going to enter. I'm just going to stand by it.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 5, 10, 15, 20. You open the door. Now, you still have, you still have 30 movement plus another 30 movement, you still have 10 movement plus another 30 movement left. You're still gonna just stand there?
The door, right? I can see through.
Yeah. You do see,
room.
yeah, you do see a narrow room that ends, the far wall is the purple wall of swirling energy.
Alright. So yes, I'm going to stand here. I'm not going to enter the room.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. You continue to wait. 5, so click off another turn.
Yep.
10,
I'm
15,
running low.
25, 30, 35, 40, 45. You, what was your stealth check there, Cyrus?
It was 22.
What's your passive? Vendar?
I think it's 23.
25. My passive is 25.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Okay.
So you feel, but you don't see anyone. So you are pretty sure that it's Cyrus who comes up behind you with the little pitter patter of tiny feet. Moving very, very quickly.
You ready?
Okay, well. Alright, we're here. You ready? I whisper that.
Oh, like,
He's got the door open.
there's a bit of a surprise, and then, assuming I have the necessary line of sight, I will cast Wall of Stone.
Okay. You can move past him into this doorway. And you cast Wall of Stone. Where are you casting Wall of Stone? Let's see, this is this room.
Let me double check and try to know
boop.
exactly how much I can create.
Boop.
Okay.
Oh, the catapult system.
What'd you say?
Said, oh, that catapult system.
I thought it was a lot of fun. Leave it like that for now. Boop. Boop. Okay. So, that's what you can see. This room that seems to have textiles on the walls and floor on the inside. As well as some paint portraits on the wall. Again, more rock gnomish cultural heritage things. The textiles, however, in this room appear to depict dragons in flight over land or sea or sky, interpretable by the colors of the textiles. You notice that some of the dragons have a shimmery, metallic-looking thread, and it does a good job of making you believe you're looking at depiction of a gold or silver or copper dragon. And there are a bunch of these textiles in here. You do also see that the floor is dominated in this area here by a large rug that appears to be depicting the lion's share of all 10 types of dragon in a circle. Although it seems like the circle is incomplete. It sort of seems to disappear into the purple wall of swirling energy in the middle of this circle of dragons, which seem to alternate metallic, chromatic, metallic, are a 5-headed multicolor dragon and a silver dragon. All of these are not detailed, they're just, you can understand that these shapes represent dragons. The one that is clearly there to represent Bahamut seems to show him in profile, such as the shields and armor of Bahamut tend to depict him. The 5 heads of Tiamat are arranged in a small ring of their own, with 3 out of the 5 seeming to have open mouths, and the others simply sneering.
Alright.
Was that there before?
Yeah, I didn't do a lot of description on some of these rooms the first time, so this is just retroactive. Nothing's changed besides the fact that the bodies you know you created here are gone, and the doors you know you left open are closed.
Okay.
Alright. Well, I will try to make a new floor with Wall of Stone, like a few inches above the old one.
Okay. Where? Like, what squares are you going to cover?
Like line from the two in front of the door all the way to the back, and one row on each side of that.
So, like, this is what you're saying?
Yeah.
So you know that that's 28 squares.
Well, I can make 10 20 by 10 foot panels. So
you should be able to cover that.
Yeah.
Because a 20 by 10 foot panel is this. So there's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And then that one disappears underneath the purple.
Alright. And then if I can, I'll use like the remaining panels, I guess, to just kind of connect it out more towards the middle, so it's not just connected by one wall. That would make it, structurally unsound.
Oh, I think I see. So you want to use, like, some stone here.
Yeah.
To connect it to the side walls.
Yep, so it's not like a big old diving board.
So we'll say that's 5 panels. How thick are these?
The 10 by 20 ones are 3 inches.
That's impressive.
10 by 10 ones are 6.
Right. And do they do basically like connect to existing stone like they're part of it, right?
I believe so. Let me double check.
Okay. It might not say anything about it. It's
a non-magical wall of stone springs into existence at a point you choose within range. So it doesn't seem like it has to be specifically a part of it, but
I'll tell you this, just to make things simple. You know that those buttons that you stood on and pushed to create the effects, whether it was opening a door or activating the launcher, were, to the untrained eye, indiscernible from the normal floor, meaning they were perfectly flush. So if you took a perfectly flat, perfectly straight slab of stone and laid it on the floor, on the regular tiles over top the tiles that are buttons, it would not depress them.
Okay.
Because they're flush. So and I'm only saying this just to go around the whole, well, it doesn't explicitly state that it can just, like, spring out of a vertical wall 20 feet off the ground without just falling. So I'm just like, you know what, forget it. You can just create it so it's laying on the floor. Because A, I know that the rule lets you do that, and B, I know that'll work because the trap requires you to put specific pressure on it separate from the other tiles around it. This would be held up by the other tiles. You create these slabs of stone, and nothing happens. They sit there quietly on the floor, waiting to be trod on.
Okay.
You want to test it now?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, they can merge with and be solidly supported by existing stone.
Alright, cool. So if you don't want it laying flat on the floor, it can be raised up an inch or whatever. But you know mechanically that those tiles are flush with the tiles around them. So a slab that overlaps the entire area that is a tile and goes past it isn't actually going to be able to push it down.
Well, I think I'll leave it a little bit above just in case there's some other type of trigger that we don't know about.
Okay.
And then if case some other adventurers come here, like some other people come here later, want to actually see what the original floor is like, I don't have it.
The door you're standing in can no longer be closed, because it is now part of the stone floor that is above the stone floor. The other door cannot be opened much more than it's closed because it will run into the slab you created before it fully opens.
Is there any way I can make a solution like the door on the opposite side won't open?
Only if you are certain that your slabs went all the way up to any other door that may or may not be there. But as far as you can tell, there's a solid purple swirly wall of energy there. That's where the room, as far as you're concerned, ends.
So we can't see into the...
Correct.
Veil.
It is opaque and not penetrable by the eye.
Okay.
Did you want to create slabs, like, further beyond the purple that you can see? Because you know one of your slabs disappeared half under it. You don't know if it penetrated.
I guess I would send Vindar in there to tell me.
Go in there.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't sign up to be a guinea pig to die in the purple.
I don't think it'll kill you, but it might try and shut off my concentration, and I don't particularly want to get dropped onto this floor.
I don't think we should attempt to go through the purple until we have the whole party here.
Fair enough. Then I guess I'll just...
idea what it might do.
I'll just try and make it go as far as I can with any remaining slabs I have left. If we have to beat away a little stone, oh well.
So you're just going to fill the area that you can't see with stone, basically, whatever stone is left, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 more slabs that size.
Yeah, if I can. That would be the plan.
Okay, you can't see the effect of what you just did.
This could go poorly.
But you magically feel like you put down slabs of stone in the area. Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe just... Well, how many did it take to get through? I'm gonna go with, like, maybe just 2, 3 more. I'm gonna guess the room is cut exactly in half, and I'm gonna go just 3 more instead of 5. If that's an option.
Oh, we're gonna chip away this rock.
Door open.
Okay. There you go. You have created this floor above a floor into which you have embedded a door, and some of which is outside of your area of knowledge because it's beyond this purple veil, which you assume is a veil and not itself a wall.
Yep. Although, let me double check one thing. It just says choose. Let's see. Well, we've done what we can here. Let's hurry back. We don't need to wait around here. I can concentrate back from the other room.
Alright.
Okay. You follow your same path back. You are no longer invisible, so you move back quickly. You can now double move because you're not sneaking.
So I can actually outpace him by 10 feet this time.
Yeah, you basically sprint back.
Gavoting all the way.
And actually, technically, you could have outpaced him on the way here now that I think about it, because, according to this, you just rolled a stealth once, and it gets contested forever after that, so you're not using an action to continue stealthing each turn, I don't think.
Oh well.
Alright. Works for me?
I don't think. I could be wrong.
Well, I think it...
But the book itself says that you make one roll, and until you're discovered, you use that roll.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Whatever. They made it there.
Yes. So the first thing you notice now, especially now that you're both visible, Vendar, is that he is a speedy motherfucker. And he just takes off like Speedy Gonzales and beats you back to the room by like many seconds. Because he's able to move half again as far as you. Well.
See, I still don't understand why I can't triple move.
Because that's not the way he likes it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, okay.
It is something that other DMs allow, but to me, it doesn't seem to be in the spirit of it. It's really weird that it's just like, I move, I dash again. Like, what?
I don't know, it feels like, you're using that time to do whatever other action you do. Why couldn't you use that time to dash further?
Because things get really silly when stuff moves that far, that fast. It's a problem I ran into with monks in previous editions. It's just like, oh yeah, they move fucking, 180 feet a turn.
So that's the problem we're having with Maxi.
Yeah, it's a
It would
problem.
be exactly as fast as Rowan, or not Rowan, as
You got this.
Cyrus.
There you go.
Cyrus now moves.
Was he waiting for the name to come up on the screen?
I did not see, actually, I didn't see his name, but I remembered it. But yes, it's exactly as fast as Cyrus now moves with his dash.
Yeah. If I had a potion of speed, I can move 180 feet in a turn.
Yeah, but he's got a cursed item, so he has to suffer a curse to move that far.
And then there would be the point, if you allowed that, then if I ever had the boots, then that would mean I could do...
Right, but you'd then be suffering a curse.
Yeah.
Alright.
I am nearly out of magic.
Well, it's a good thing we're gonna rest.
It took you almost a full minute to get there. It takes you less to get back, since you're both, well, it takes Vendar the same amount of time, but, it takes you less time than it took you the first time, since you arrived well after Vendar. Now you arrive a bit before Vendar.
Yeah.
So you spend the next 9 minutes concentrating to keep that wall there, and then you can go rest. And we'll pick up from there next time.
Yay.
There is a... What color is the dome, Sam?
It's like a beige.
And that dome is 3x3, if I remember correctly.
It's like a beige.
What is this? 10-foot radius, immobile dome of force.
10-foot radius, so it's actually 5x5. Because I'm not dealing with their weird measurements for things anymore. Okay. Yeah. There we go. They're trying to say it's a 4x4. I'm just like, We could call it a burst, or what was that? A blast 2.
Well,
they're stupid.
Our little side mission went better than expected.
All of the corpses that were there just 2 hours ago are now gone, so there's that, but we didn't run into anything.
And I'm not entirely sure if I made a full bridge, because I, can't see past the veil. I might have made a full bridge, I might have made less than a full bridge, I might have overdone it a bit, and we're going to see what happened.
Alright.
I wasn't going to go through the veil, because that seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, I agree.
Better wait until we're a full party.
Alright. Well, we can discuss the rest of it next time. 2, 3, 4. Everybody can take 300 experience points because there was good roleplay and we figured out your cursed items. There was discussion and activities were done.
I think if I wrote every journal I possibly could, I might level.
I suppose I need to write 2 of
Tanya?
them.
I do need to crack down on that this weekend.
I just reached level 10.
Nice.
Nice. I'm still 1,200 short.
Make 3 journal entry posts though. In case we got to the long rest before, so that I could level.
Alright, that's posted.
And now I click the long rest button.
Not yet.
Haven't gotten
The rest hasn't happened yet. Or
I
hasn't
have to
finished yet.
watch.
Hasn't
I have
happened
stuff
yet.
that needs to happen, at the very least.
It's
Who knows?
Before we get the
Other
rest.
stuff might happen because of it.
Nah. Nah.
other stuff might.
I only had 2 spell slots left. But I still had a fair bit of sorcery points.
Next session should be fun.
I had enough spell slots to cast Mirror Image, and enough spell slots to cast Fireball. That is all I needed.
Alright. So, what'd you all think? Reasonable? Good stuff?
Yep.
You let Yukikaze use the bleeder.
It's true.
Dun, dun, dun.
We'll see if that was a bad idea or not.
Well,
Soon.
I'm still concerned about what the other effect is. Because I don't think we know all the effects.
I love that
Even
you just
lie.
assume he's lying.
Well,
No,
every
we're
other
not-
item had returns to you if it's gone for more than a minute.
Yeah.
And that seemed to be the only thing he's had, at least from what he told us. And so I'm concerned that there's one more piece to it, like every other item had.
Yeah, not necessarily that he's lying, but he might not know.
Or he might interpret something he read differently than you would have.
That's entirely possible.
I think it's possible just because
stab me in the
I
back,
fucking
I'm wrong.
wrote what it does, and then he basically said it does the opposite. It's like
With the, like he can't.
he
get
said.
rid-
I said I can't put it down, but somebody could
Yeah.
take it from me. I'm like, no, it's literally the other way around. If someone takes it from you, or you set it down, it comes back to you after a minute. Like, it's the ultimate anti-theft device. I love it.
Yeah. If only you could do it on command, it makes a great way of buying trust. Just surrender your weapon, and it comes back later. I
But then
may
it
or may
wouldn't
not have
be a
done that
curse.
several times.
But then it wouldn't be a curse.
Yeah, I know, because then it would be the Elvish Knight feature.
I know.
No, what happens is that it brings it to you, but it also brings whoever was holding it to you, and they get an attack against you in that same round. It appears point first.
It appears and has decided to use you as the chief.
Well, that sucks. I just love the belt of giants. If we run into any giants, they're gonna be attracted to me.
Something
Yeah.
tells me there's more to it than that, but if it only affects giants, I don't particularly care while we're in here.
I love it. That is my favorite item. I cannot. I don't want him to ever take it off. I cannot wait to see how that works.
I should have been like, have some more self-confidence. You're plenty charming enough to giants anyway.
Had that belt when we ran into those hill giants.
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Oh,
No,
now I gotta
not
start looking.
Snoo.
Now I gotta start looking at giant CRs to see what kind of giants are gonna start loving on Raiken.
No.
Just give him a nice hill giant. We can kill that.
Crushed pelvis. The flesh is
Giants only have like
the
21
spirit is
strength.
willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
Oh, boy.
God. So, what did we think of the new layout? Was it too distracting, or was it okay?
I like it.
Yeah, that was
Seems
good.
fine.
I really like that it actually makes the text that pops up readable. And it all pops up, like, down in a place where you know to look for it, rather than, like, potentially... Even though I always put the black outlines on the white text, it sometimes appears on the white... It used to appear on the white Excel, which made it hard to read, at least on my screen, where it's tiny. So I think that's going to be better. I'm glad I took the time.
I think it looks nice.
Thank you.